From McCormick Gymnasium in Fargo, North Dakota, I'm Kate Busick alongside Jed Thomas as we get set for North Dakota High School basketball action. We'll kick you down to the announcer for now.
For tonight's Eastern Dakota Conference girls basketball matchup, featuring the visitors on the scoreboard, the Wahpeton Huskies. And our home team, Shanley Deacons. Shanley High School would like to remind all fans that we are a tobacco-free campus. Smoking is prohibited on the school grounds. Also, the concession stand and restrooms are located south of the Gymnasium in the Commons area. At this time, we ask that you please rise as Father Charles LaCroix will lead us in prayer.
In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, amen. Father, all-powerful, never-living God, we dwell always and everywhere to give you thanks. And we thank you for allowing us to gather here today for these games. We ask you, as always, to be with us, bless us, and watch over us. Keep the players free from injury and harm. Allow them to play to the best of their ability. May they enjoy the contest here tonight. Let everything that we think, say, and do give you great honor, glory, and praise. And finally, we ask a special blessing on Jacob Peterman and his family. Please give them all strength, courage, and hope. Pray all this in the name of your Son, Jesus, by the power of your Holy Spirit. You are God forever and ever. Amen. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Please remain standing as we honor America with the singing of our national anthem. Your anthem tonight will be performed by senior basketball player Alexis Warner.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets mingling, heaven's bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, sing us that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
High school girls basketball action will be right back after a word from our sponsors.
At this time, I'd like to draw your attention to the scores table as Shanley basketball player Lily Rivard.
This broadcast is presented by American Family Insurance, Ken Craft Agency, Bell Bank, Butler Machinery Company, Ed's Marine and Storage, the Fargo Jet Center, First International Bank and Trust, Forum Communications, Haley's Hope, Kochman Brothers Homes, Luther Family Buick GMC, Master Construction, Moore Engineering, Netrix IT, Northern Improvement Company, Off the Wall Advertising, Robert Gibb and Sons, Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, Shields, and TCI Insurance.
And we're back to high school girls action. And Jed, who are some players to watch for both teams tonight?
Oh, yeah, thanks, Cade. So obviously we got Wahpeton taking on Shanley here, coming up to play a very tough road game. The Deacons been outstanding all season with a record of 11-3 coming into tonight. They've been especially tough at home, so it'll be a tall order here for Wahpeton to try to knock off these Deacons on their home court. But if I'm looking at players who can get the job done, I'm looking at two girls in particular for the Huskies. First up is Jordan Kaler. top scorer for Wahpeton. She's been electric all season long. Can get you from beyond the three-point line, can get you from in the paint. Just kind of an all-around scorer for Wahpeton. Gets it done when she needs to. Along with her, Gina Cornelius, another really strong player. Her numbers are right behind Kaler's. In fact, she converts her shots at a 7% higher rate, a 43% field goal percentage to Kaler's 36. So Kaler scores in a bit higher volume, but Cornelius is a bit more efficient. So they complement each other nicely, and so they're just, like I said, two all-around scorers. They just get the points, and that's what Wahpeton needs. They come into tonight only averaging about 50 points a game, so they need buckets. They need them early, and they need them often. Those two girls can get that done for them. On the Shanley side of things, it's some pretty familiar names. First you look at the senior leader, Sierra Berg. Big girl, 6'1", real tall, real athletic, converting at a 66% clip on her shots, which is just an unbelievable number. And right alongside her, Riley Payne, the sophomore, leading scorer for Shanley, averaging 20 points a game. Deadly from beyond the three-point line, also does well, driving into the paint. So look at those two to be big contributors for Shanley.
Definitely two players we're going to watch tonight, Jed, as we get ready for the tip.
And Kate, also watch number 3 in white, Hadley Huber. The whole offense really runs through her for Shanley.
Shanley likes to tip it ahead and try to get a quick pass in for a layup. They didn't get it here, but Payne will take the ball at the right wing, pass it over to Vetter on the left, into Berg. It's going to go into Huber. Out. She's going to pull it out to the left. She's going to bring it up to the middle. Get a screen from Vetter. Give it over to Vetter up in the middle. Vetter's going to drive it on the right. Vetter for 2, no good, but she got fouled. And she'll go to the line for 2.
And now, Kate, this is an area where Shanley has had their struggles this season. Free throws have not exactly been their strength. Vetter herself only converting at a 47% clip, although she does get the first one. But like I said, free throws, big area where Shanley is needed to improve this year.
And that's a really big thing for the Deacons because it's kind of let them let other teams hang around in games that should be over. And they're just not.
Yeah, absolutely. You need to hit those free throws to build up those big leads and kind of put a game away. It's just something they haven't been able to do, although that is a good start for Vetter going 2 for 2.
Payne's going to steal the ball. She's got a free layup. It's good.
No surprise there. Riley Payne coming into tonight with 50 steals on the season. That's good for an average of 4 a game.
Gracer's going to throw ahead to Cornelius. She's going to push the ball up the floor for 2. No good. It's going to be rebounded by Gracer. She's going to give it out to Grippentrog, who's going to give it over to Collar. Give it back up to Grippentrog at the top. Ball's going to go over. Grippentrog's going to get the ball in the right corner. Gracer is going to give it back to Grippentrog for 3. No good. It's going to be a rebound, jump ball, and it'll stay Wahpeton ball on alternating possession.
That's some good hustle there for Wahpeton. Shanley looked like they were going to get the easy rebound there. A couple girls for Wahp come in there to contest it. It's a good jump ball.
Vetter's going to bring the ball up the court. She's going to go up for 2. No good. Rebound Wahp. Wahp's going to bring the ball up, pressured by Vetter. Ball's going to go over to Grippentrog. It's going to be a traveling violation on Wahpeton, though, and it's going to go back to Shanley. Huber will bring the ball up for the Deacons. She's going to bring it down to the left side. She's going to pull out, up to Vetter. Vetter is going to pass over to Payne on the right side. Up to Huber in the middle. Huber's going to dribble in for 2. No good, but she was fouled, and she'll go to the line.
Hadley Huber actually the leading free throw shooter for Fargo Shanley. She's got 68% mark coming into tonight, 61 for 90 at the line, so she does make a pretty good amount of trips.
She'll make her first. Cornelius is going to get the ball. She's going to pass it over. It's going to get stolen by Vetter. Vetter's going to throw it ahead to Payne, and Payne's going to, nope, she's going to miss her shot. And they're going to call a foul on Payne now. Oh, Kaler is going to be the recipient of that foul, and it will be Wahpeton basketball.
And folks, we should mention, I think that replay may have cut off the second free throw attempt. That was no good and led to the rebound there.
Kaler's going to bring the ball up, guarded by Payne. It's going to go over to Gribbentrop. It's going to go down in the corner. Cornelius is going to get the ball on the left wing, up to Gracier. Gracier's going to go over to Kaler. Kaler's going to dribble in for two. It's good. Payne is going to bring the ball up the right side, guarded by Kaler. She's going to dribble it in. The shot got blocked. It's going to be rebounded by Kaler. She's going to push the ball up the left side. Gives it out to Gribbentrop in the middle. She's going to give it back up. Kaler's going to go up for two. No good. Rebound Visser. Visser will give it to Huber, who will bring it up the middle. Over to Payne on the right side. Payne's going to throw it into Vetter. Vetter for two. No good. Rebound DeVries. Gribbentrop's going to bring the ball up the right side. Gracier's going to save a dead ball. It's going to be thrown over to DeVries. Over to Gribbentrop on the right side. Back up to Gracier at the top. Over to Kaler. Kaler's going to dribble in for two. No good. Rebound Payne. Payne's going to bring the ball up the left side. Going to throw it ahead to Berg. It's going to get stolen, though, by Cornelius. Over to Gribbentrop, who's going to give it back to Kaler in the middle.
Some sloppy play here for Shanley early on, Cade. We've seen a lot of turnovers for them in the offensive zone. That's very uncharacteristic.
A few too many turnovers from both teams so far, something you really can't have if you're Wahpeton, who struggles to score.
Yeah, absolutely. You got to take advantage of those opportunities, and Wahpeton has struggled with that all season long, and they're having some issues tonight.
Cornelius is going to lay that in for two. And Huber will bring the ball up the middle. Huber's going to bring the ball up. Shot no good, but she was fouled. An interesting thing on that play, though, they were daring Huber to take the ball to the left. They were not respecting her left hand a bit on that play. Something to watch for the rest of the game if they will respect it or not.
Another thing to note, Cade, with that free throw, now 4 of 6 points for Shanley have come from the free throw line. Weakness, I mentioned as the game began, that's really looking like a strength for them right now. I think the bigger sign, though, is that Shanley really has not done much outside of the free throw line. They just have not been able to get anything going.
When a team struggles from the free throw line like that, they will miss them eventually. You got to know that. You can't have that sloppy defense on that play. They get bailed out by the miss. It's going to go out of bounds on Shanley. They're going to get the ball underneath. Payne is going to inbound for the Deacons, up to Hubert. She's going to get it in the corner for three. No good. Rebound Berg. Berg's going to go up for two. It's good.
Kind of feels like everything Sierra Berg shoots goes in. I mean, when you've got a 66% average there, obviously you're putting quite a bit in. Just a very efficient player, Sierra Berg, and you saw why that time.
Ball's going to go up to Cornelius on the top, over to Gribbentrop on the right. Back up to Clear in the middle, guarded by Rivard. Going to dribble to the left. It's going to be a foul on Rivard underneath, I believe.
First personal, second team foul.
Ball's going to be thrown in, and it's going to be DeVries. She's going to make the bucket for two, and it's a three-point game. Huber's going to bring the ball around the left side, over to Berg. Berg's going to dribble in, met by two defenders, going to miss the first, get the rebound, and make the second. Another thing you saw there, again, they did not respect Hadley Huber's left hand. Gibbentrop's going to be blocked by Riley Payne. And Steve Jacobson is going to call a timeout for the Deacons now. Jed, what do you think Steve Jacobson is telling his team right now?
Well, I think he's really probably just asking them to cut down on those errors we've seen. It does seem like they've cleaned things up a bit. I think what they've really done, especially on offense, is they've leaned on Sierra Berg. You've seen they're really starting to get her a bit more involved on both ends of the court. And, that's what you want out of your seniors. That's what you want out of your leaders like Sierra Berg. She's just kind of taken control, settled things down. She's been the safe bet, and they've taken advantage of that. So, honestly, I think he's probably just telling them to keep leaning on Sierra, keep doing more of the same, and just play a clean game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that'll make sense, Jed. It looks like the Deacons, they're going to stay in the man-to-man they've been in. We've seen them slip in and out of a zone a lot this season. Ball's going to be inbounded to Kaler. She's going to go in. Shot, no good. It's going to be rebounded by Berg. Berg's going to push it ahead to Vetter. Vetter looked a little surprised by the pass, but she throws it into Berg. She's going to lose it. Get it back over to Huber. Back over to Vetter in the corner. Vetter for three. No good. Rebound, Kaler. She's going to bring the ball up to the middle. Ball's going to be passed ahead to Gibbentrop. She's going to give it over to Gracier. Gracier's going to give it over to Cornelius. Cornelius is going to dribble in. Ball's going to go back out to Kaler. Kaler for three. No good. Rebound, Vetter. Vetter's going to throw it up ahead to Payne. Payne is going to go in for two. They're going to call a foul on Gibbentrop. That'll be her second personal there.
Yeah, and that's a close one, Kate. I'm not quite sure. Grippentrog, I thought, did a good job staying mostly on the ball, but you never quite know from up here, how much she caught of Riley Payne. Maybe we'll get a look on this replay. Been a lot of breaks for Shanley, and you see that time, I think maybe it was actually the arm on the outside that came and got her shoulder that they whistled her for. But we've seen a lot of breaks here for Shanley, a lot of rushes down the court. They haven't converted too well on them, but what they have done is gotten fouls called and gotten a lot of trips to the line.
Yeah, that'll be Gibbentrop's second already, only about 6 minutes into the game. Kaler's going to dribble in, pass it out to Cornelius. She's going to dribble in, shot for two. No good. Rebound, Rivard. Rivard's going to pass it up to Huber. Huber's going to bring it down the left side. She's going to get fouled. I'm not quite sure who that was on. That's going to be on Gibbentrop. Her third personal already. And another thing to note, that is Wahpeton's fifth team foul already.
Yeah, that foul trouble is really becoming evident. Like you said, 5 team fouls, and we've still got 11 minutes left here in this first half. You just can't have that happening. Like you said, Grippentrog now has picked up her third. That's a really tough number to have one of your top players already at 3 so early on in the game.
Make the second. Ball is going to be thrown up ahead to Carlson. Carlson's going to pass it up to Gracier. Gracier for two, no good. Rebound Cornelius. Cornelius for two, no good. She's going to get fouled on the second attempt, though. I'm not quite sure who that was on. That'll be on Manuel, her first. She'll make her first. One thing right now, though, Shanley's on a 10-3 run, just something to kind of keep in mind.
Yeah, it hasn't necessarily felt like that, Cade. It's kind of been one of those quiet runs where you look up at the scoreboard and you realize, one team has jumped up to now an 8-point lead here for Shanley. And there's nothing wrong with that. They've just been doing it in a simple manner. It's not like they've been raining threes or doing anything spectacular. It's just been sound, fundamental basketball, and that's gotten them a lead. And any coach will take that any day of the week.
Mm-hmm. Rivard's going to go up for two. She's going to get blocked, and it's going to stay Deacon basketball underneath.
Nice block there for Gina Cornelius. Just got the hand up there and swatted it. It's what they've been trying to do these last couple possessions where they picked up the fouls. Finally, that time, they're able to just get the ball and not the player.
Huber's going to have the ball with the 6 seconds to shoot. She's going to try and throw it into Berg. Ball hit the back of the backboard. It's going to get stolen by Rivard. It's going to go over to Huber. Huber's going to look to dribble in. She's going to hold the ball. It's going to be thrown out to Rivard. Rivard's going to throw it into Hoffer. Hoffer misses the layup, and it's going to be a jump ball. It'll be Deacon basketball on rotating possession. Huber will inbound for the Deacons. Berg's going to get the ball over to Hoffer. They're going to try and give it into Huber. Huber's going to go up for two. No good. Rebound Gracier. It's going to be another jump ball. This time it'll be Wahpeton ball on rotating possession.
Shanley just having all kinds of trouble there converting. They had a couple of good looks multiple times and just could not get any of them to go. Saw Berg collide with someone out there.
Manuel is going to take a deep two. Shot's going to be no good. Rebound Van Evs. She's going to push the ball up. Ball is going to go over to Carlson. Up to Caller. Carlson's going to get the ball back. Over to Gracier. Gracier for two. No good. Rebound Berg. Berg's going to give it up to Hoffer. Going to go over to Huber. Huber looked to shoot. Passed on it. It's going to go back up to Hoffer. Hoffer's going to dribble it around to the right. Manuels is going to get the ball in the corner for three. It's good.
That's big. That's big, Cade. That's the first three-pointer of the game for either team. Olivia Manuel only 5 for 20 on the season. Also a young player, though, just a sophomore. That's a big-time three-pointer. Maybe can start to open things up a bit.
Ball is going to be passed out. Gracier's going to get the ball on the left wing. Wahpeton's going to dribble in for two. It's good. Van Ebs with the bucket.
Basket by Chip Van Ebs.
Huber's going to bring the ball up. She's going to try and go baseline. Going to get met with a double team. She's going to get blocked, get her own rebound, and put up another shot. Rivard ends up with the ball. Manuel gets it. She's going to get called for traveling, though, and it'll be Wahpeton ball as the Deacons make some mass substitutions.
Yeah, tough break there for Olivia Manuel. Hits the three on that last possession and now picks up the travel here to turn it over.
Hoffer's going to get the steal here. Try and throw it ahead to Manuel. Manuel for two. It's good.
Nice work there for Hoffer. Get in there, break that one up, get the steal, and it leads to points.
Gracier's going to get the ball ahead of the pack. She's going to go up for two. It's good, and the foul.
Well, Caden, excellent response there for Wahpeton. They get a little fast break that time, something they've really had trouble getting going here. Mostly they've just been bringing that ball in, possessing for a long time, trying to set something up. It's good to get those rushes like that because they can lead to some big plays like this, although they can't hit the free throw to complete the three-point play.
Vetter's going to get the ball on the right. She's going to give it up to Payne. Payne's going to get a screen. Shot for two. No good. Rebound on Van Ebs. Van Ebs is going to get fouled by Payne. That will be her second personal.
15 foul. Checking in, number 23, Emily DeVries, number 33, Gina Cornelius.
Yeah, Caden, that's a foul I don't know if you really want to be taking if you're Shanley. You're in a good situation here, up 9. They really haven't done a whole bunch in the offensive zone. I don't think there's really a need for Payne to reach in there that time.
That one they're going to call Manuel with the foul. I believe that is her first personal. That puts the Deacons at 16 fouls, so Wahpeton will be in bonus for the rest of the game.
Yeah, Kate, it's interesting how the script has really flipped here. Wahpeton was looking like they were in some foul trouble. They had 5 very early on. They have not added to that total, though, and now Visser picks up another. So Shanley now with 7 fouls to Wahpeton's 5. Interesting how that situation has really kind of been flipped.
Collier, she's going to go to the line. She makes the first. A couple more subs for the Deacons. Misses the second. Rebound Vetter. Vetter's going to give the ball up to Manuel. He's going to push the ball up the right side. Going to give the ball back to Vetter. Vetter's going to give it over to Huber. The Deacons once again, or excuse me, Wahpeton not respecting the left hand. Huber is going to go up for 2. Carlson's going to bring the ball up the middle. Guarded by Manuel. She's going to cross Manuel over. Errant pass, and it's going to be Deacon basketball.
And folks, we would like to apologize if you've been having any technical difficulties. We do believe we have those sorted out, but again, want to say sorry if you've experienced any issues from a technical standpoint. I think we've got those all squared away.
Vetter's going to give the ball. She's going to throw it into Huber. Huber is going to give it back out to Vetter at the top. Manuel's going to get the ball on the left wing. It's going to be thrown into Vetter on the block. Vetter's going to make a little turnaround shot. It's good for 2. Carlson's going to bring the ball up. She's going to get doubled, and they're going to call a foul on Manuel. That'll be her second, and Carlson will go to the line to shoot the 1-and-1.
Yeah, these fouls, Kate, have really kind of come out of nowhere for Shanley. All of a sudden, they're just picking them up, foul after foul. Now that's 8 team fouls. Like you said, the second on Manuel. Third, excuse me. I just don't know where those came from all of a sudden.
First one's good. I mean, it's almost just Wahpeton being aggressive when Shanley is trying to press and just kind of running into the girls, and they're getting the call. I mean, it's not saying it's the wrong call, but I mean.
No, I mean, definitely I think Shanley has earned a lot of these fouls being called against them. I think it's like you said, Wahpeton's playing more aggressive here. They've kind of really had a turnaround in the way they're playing this game, and it's not like they took a timeout or anything. They just kind of flipped a switch about halfway through this first half, and things have really started going a bit better for them. Part
of the problem is they're bad fouls, 40 or 50 feet away from your basket.
Right, and it's like I said earlier, we've seen a couple fouls that I just think Shanley, doesn't need to be taking.
That one I don't know about. I think I would say Sierra Berg was set, but they are going to give that one. They are going to call it on her, and that will send Wahpeton to the line again.
Yeah, Caden, that's a close one. I think we saw Berg, like you said, she looked like she was just about set. Maybe we'll get a look on the replay here. And, you do see a little movement. Like you said, Kate, it's close. But, you can say the same thing. A lot of those fouls Wahpeton had trying to block in their own end looked like maybe a bit more ball than anything. So those types of fouls are always toss-ups. We've seen them go both ways here tonight.
They always say that those fouls, they don't really matter because if you have the same refs, they'll just cancel each other out.
Exactly, yeah. I think we've seen that.
Especially that's all right if you have the same, I'm going to say, depth on your bench. It really doesn't cancel each other if one team can play 10 and another can play 6. But both teams playing 8 players, it's not a huge deal, except when you've got players with 3 fouls early like both Shanley and Wahpeton has.
For sure.
Ball is going to be inbounded. Pithy's going to bring the ball. Oh, she's going to try and give it to Carlson. Rivard's going to pull the ball ahead. She's going to look to throw it ahead to Vetter. It's going to be taken by Pithy. It's going to be a timeout by Wahpeton to get out of the double team.
Yeah, excellent defense played there by Wahpeton, and a well-timed timeout that time taken by the head coach. Wahpeton, like I said, just kind of a whole change in mentality here. They're playing a lot more aggressive. They're playing a lot more sound in their own end. Overall, Wahpeton, like I said, flipped a switch. Not really sure what happened, but they've just improved their play a whole lot throughout this first half. They're trending in the right direction.
Yeah, that was just a stolen possession there on Wahpeton. I mean, granted, they gave away the possession before, but I mean, Shanley more or less had a free lane to the basket, and they ended up getting the ball back. Now, Shanley's going to set up in a press. They are going to go man-to-man here. Carlson all inbound for Wahpeton. Ball is going to be inbounded to Gracier. She's going to pass back to Carlson. Carlson's going to bring the ball up. She's going to bring the ball around the left side. Back out. It's going to be stolen by Berg. Huber's going to bring the ball up, pass it ahead to Payne. Payne's going to look to shoot. Shot, no good. Rebound Cornelius. She will push the ball up the right side. Give it ahead to Pithy. It's going to go out to Carlson in the middle. Gracier's going to get the ball. Over to Cornelius. Gracier's going to get the ball back to Pithy. Pithy over to Carlson. Carlson for three. It's good.
Big time three there for Wahpeton. That's their first three-pointer of the game. Now both teams, I think with only one. Shanley might have added to theirs since the manual three-pointer. But still, just big for Wahpeton to get that three. I think that's a big confidence booster as Payne answers right back.
That'll take a little confidence from you, but making those shots, especially as a lower scoring team, that'll help. Cornelius is going to be up ahead of the pack, and she's going to go in. Shot good for two. Cut the lead down to 7. It's going to be stolen here by Carlson. She's going to throw it ahead to, it's going to be knocked out of bounds by Berg, and it's going to be Wahpeton basketball underneath.
Well, if you want to get a positive out of that for Shanley, it was a good recovery there defensively by Berg to get in there and break up that pass. Otherwise, it was looking like a pretty easy layup for Wahpeton.
Kaler for three, no good. Rebound Payne. She's going to push the ball up ahead. She's going to pass it to Berg. It's going to be mishandled, and it's going to go out of bounds on the Deacons, and it'll be Wahpeton ball.
Yeah, Payne trying to get the bounce pass there because that passing lane was well defended by Wahpeton. Instead, she kind of puts it in Vetter's feet that time.
Carlson's going to bring the ball up to on the left side. She's going to bring it. They're going to call a push on Julia Vetter there, I believe, and that will send Wahpeton to the line for 2.
I think that'll put them in the double bonus, Cade.
Yep, so that'll put them there for 2 for the rest of the half.
Yeah,
that's 4.5 minutes.
That's big. 4:25 left to already be in the double bonus. May not seem like a ton of time, but a lot can happen there.
Of course, for that to matter, you do have to convert.
Right, and we talked about some of the free throw woes for Shanley. Wahpeton's kind of in the same boat. It's not like they've been, they haven't been terrible by any means. They just have not been a top team in free throw shooting, although there's a nice recovery to hit the second on that trip.
Now Wahpeton is going to set up and press their own, but Huber's going to get the ball. Oh, and she's going to dribble baseline. They're going to call a foul on Wahpeton, I believe. 24 Kaler, that'll be her first. And the Deacons are 1 away from being in bonus for the rest of the half.
And Kate, here's a stat for you. That is Wahpeton's first foul as a team since the 11-minute mark of this first half. They've gone about 7 minutes without committing a foul.
Very impressive there. Grippentrop, she still is on the bench with 3, obviously, as you'd expect. Kalir's going to bring the ball up. She's going to go in for a little bit of a wild shot. No good. Rebound Carlson, though. Ball's going to go over to Cornelius. Over to Gracier. Cornelius has the ball. She's going to throw it into Garcia. Garcia for 2. It's blocked. Payne's going to get the ball and push it up the middle. Payne's going to throw it out to Huber. Huber's going to... It's going to go out of bounds on the Deacons.
Checking back in for the Huskies, number 12, Sam Pithy.
Pithy will come back in for the Huskies. Carlson will bring the ball up for Wahpeton. She's going to get double teamed. She's going to get a little bit of a pass off, but it's going to be stolen. Thrown ahead to Huber. Huber is going to get her shot contested by Pithy, but it won't matter. She'll make it. Kalir is going to bring the ball up. She's going to give her to Pithy. Pithy's going to get doubled. Back over to Kalir. Over to, I'm sorry, I can see it. Into Pithy. Pithy's going to try and go around Berg. It's going to go out of bounds on her and stay Deacon basketball. And be Deacon basketball. Oh, excuse me. Wahpeton just seems to be running a little bit out of control here for the last couple of minutes, and it really seems to be hurting them.
Yeah, Cade, they had a really good rally about halfway through this first half. They were playing really good basketball, tightening it up, and like you said, last couple of minutes, they've just lost a little bit of control here.
Cornelius is going to bring the ball up for Wahpeton. She's going to dribble in, bounce it off her knee, steal for Payne. Payne's going to bring it up the right side. Huber's going to call for the ball on the opposite side. It's going to be a traveling on Payne, and it'll be Wahpeton basketball now.
And, that's obviously a Shanley error that'll pay off for Wahpeton, but I wonder if these errors for Wahpeton, this kind of slowing down in their game, I wonder if that isn't the result of fatigue for them. It seems like they've maybe just run out of gas a little bit, and oftentimes when you start to get tired, that can really lead to a lot more sloppy play.
Yeah, that could be true, especially when one of your starters, Grippentrop, hasn't really been playing at all for the last 9 minutes.
For sure.
That'll hurt you. Cornelius will go to the line for 2. Makes the first.
Checking in for the Deacons, number 33, Katie Visser.
And the second. Visceral inbound. Hoffer's going to get the ball. It's going to be guarded by Cornelius. Wahpeton's going to trap. Huber's going to get the ball. She's going to dribble it up to the top of the key. Cornelius is going to be guarding her. Huber's going to give it up to Berg. Berg over to Payne with 15 to shoot. Shot no good. Rebound Garcia. Over to Collier. She's going to dribble in on the left side against Huber. Huber's going to get the block. Rebound Payne. Payne's going to push it up the right side. She's going to pick up her dribble, going to give it over to Berg, get the ball back. High shot off the board, no good. Rebound Visser. Visser, no good, but she'll go to the line for 2.
And that will put Shanley in the bonus now.
Fouls on number 12, Sam Pithy, first personal at the free throw line, a shooting 2. Katie
Foul was on Pithy, her first. Visser will make the first.
Julia Veteran, in for the Huskies, number 25, Ashley Gilbertson.
And the second.
Lily LeVar checking in for the Deacons.
This last minute 41, Kate, I think is going to be really key for both teams. It just seems so often in high school basketball, the way you finish the first half really dictates how you start the second. It's going to be big momentum-wise to see who kind of finishes this first half the strongest.
Yeah, I mean, that magic number 10 that we see right now for the lead, that's just a real mental note for both teams, double or single digits. And if you're Shanley, obviously you want it in that double digits. You want to have Wahpeton thinking we're down double digits because it feels a lot worse than 9, even though it's 1 point between the difference.
Absolutely, Kate. It's really just a mental thing, like you're saying. And so if Wahpeton could just keep this as a single-digit deficit, I think that'd be huge for them and really increase their odds of making things more competitive in the second half, just having a stronger start to that second half.
And one thing, if you're Shanley, the reason you want to extend this lead, you never want a team that you're better than to hang around because then they get confidence and they think they can play with you when they shouldn't be able to.
Right, but I think we've seen clearly that Wahpeton is a team that can stick with Shanley. Obviously the way they've played here in this first half, I think we're definitely looking at a team that's capable of playing with Shanley.
Well, 50 seconds left. Clear's going to take a deep 3. It's going to be no good. Rebound Cornelius. Cornelius is going to get the ball knocked out of her hands. She's going to get it back. Going to get double teamed. Vanessa, it's going to go out on Rivard. Clear is going to inbound to Garcia. Garcia is going to go up for 2. No good. Rebound Wap. It's going to end up in Vetter's hands, and she's going to push the ball up ahead. She's going to pull it out, and it looks like the Deacons are going to play for 1 shot, I believe. Huber for 2. It's good.
Yeah, Cade Shanley, I thought the same thing. I thought they might just try to run the clock down and then take a shot, but they saw an opening and they took it. Hadley Huber there with good awareness sees the opportunity and gets it for the points.
Deep 3, no good. Rebound Huber with 1 second. Shot's going to be a little long, and we'll go to the half at 37-24 Deacons.
Well, Cade, we talked about, how both teams would end that first half. Shanley making that a 13-point lead is pretty huge for them, don't you think?
Yeah, I mean, that's a real confidence herder if you're Wahpeton, just feeling like worst case scenario, we're down about 10 points and we're in this game. But then you want to break the game down when you're down into small games. I got to win this next 4 minutes by, say, 2 points or 4 points. You just lost the game, the 4-minute game, and so then that just defeats your confidence altogether.
I definitely think Wahpeton, though, can really respond here. A strong start to the second half will be big for them. Still anyone's game, absolutely, the way we've seen Wahpeton play. I think we're looking at two teams that can play each other pretty close, pretty down to the wire. We'll see how both come out for the second half. Should be fun. Stay tuned, folks. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to North Dakota High School girls basketball action. I'm Jed Thomas alongside of Kate Busick as we are getting ready for the second half of play here between the Wahpeton Huskies and the Shanley Deacons. Should be a fun second half, but folks, before we bring that to you, we want to take a minute to remind you that Shanley TV is made possible in part by the Shanley Athletic Club and their generous members. Check out their website today at shanleyathletic.club.com to learn how your membership contributes to Shanley TV, the Deacon Den, and many other student-athlete needs. While you're there, be sure to renew your annual membership by clicking the Join Now button or become a member if you're not one already. It's easy to become a member and anyone can join, so sign up today. The Shanley Athletic Club, taking Deacon athletics to a higher level. And folks, if you were watching during the break, you might have seen a pretty big three-point competition going on out there. Shanley likes to do those three-point competitions, at halftime of games to raise money for different Shanley athletics. But this one was special, folks. They were out there raising money for a gentleman by the name of Jacob Peterman. Jacob Peterman is a 16-year-old sophomore at Wahpeton High School. And on January 12th, Jacob fell while doing warm-ups for a game and broke his femur. After being taken to Grand Forks for surgery, he was told something didn't look right and cancer was suspected. He was immediately airlifted to the Children's Hospital in Minneapolis. After scans were done, they found a tumor or mass in his thigh, and at this time tests are being done and treatment plans are in the works. Folks, Jacob Peterman, an outstanding young man from Wahpeton, a great kid, just loved by that community, and you might have noticed there were a lot of people out there for that three-point competition. There's a reason why. Jacob Peterman, an upstanding individual, dealt a very tough hand, and we wish Jacob more than the best. Just a great kid. I know he'd really appreciate it. The whole family would appreciate if you sent thoughts and prayers their way. So, to the game at hand, we are into the second half of play. Shanley up 13 here, and getting the ball off that turnover by Wahpeton. Payne will fire the three.
It's going to be no good. It hit that top wire, which is considered out of bounds.
Okay, Kate, I was about to ask you what the whistle was for, and you're right, it hit that top wire, and I guess you're right, that does kill the play as that is considered out of bounds.
The top of the backboard is inbounds, but anything that holds it up is considered out.
Okay, so that's good to know going forward. That's a tough break for Payne. Thought she might have to have the three off the bounce.
She's had that one happen to her a couple of times this year.
So to inbound the ball here for Wahpeton, going to be Lexi Carlson after the foul going against the Deacons. Carlson will inbound this one. Ball moved over to Cornelius on the far side. Cornelius going to Kaler on the near side. Kaler, her shot won't go off the back of the rim, and it goes out of bounds. Vetter boxing out Cornelius. Couldn't get to it before it went out of bounds.
One thing you might want to see Wahpeton may try to do is push the ball, but that could be hard as well with their starting point guard on the bench with fouls already.
Yeah, Grippentrog went to the bench after she picked up her third foul, and we have not seen her since. A starter for Wahpeton, a big senior leader for them. It'll be big to get her back out there eventually. Garcia will grab the rebound and give off over to Carlson, and here comes Lexi Carlson working against Riley Payne. Carlson on the near side tries to spin around, nowhere to go with it. She'll cut back inside, then goes out to Cornelius. Cornelius tries to work along the baseline, but she'll get called for a travel. So neither team getting much going offensively to start off this second half. As Payne gives that one over to Huber, who will bring it forward now for Shanley. Hadley Huber working against Carlson at the top of the key. Huber cuts in, pulls up for two. It won't fall, but Vetter there for the rebound. Vetter now to Rivard. Rivard looks inside, tries to get Berg. Berg will get it, and the bucket.
Berg really just using her size, as she is the biggest player on the court almost every time she steps out on the court, and she is able to kind of maneuver around people and get easy layups like that. That's why she has that very high shooting percentage, like you said earlier, Jed.
I tell you what, Kate, she's just such a mismatch. That 6'1" height compared with that athleticism, just very tough to guard. Vetter will fire a long two, and she's got it. That makes it 41-24. Deacons trying to open this one up a bit. Cornelius is going to get whistled for the travel before she got across half court. That's a tough one to swallow for Wahpeton. Looking to respond, you hate to turn that ball over. So Huber has it now in the Wahpeton zone. Fakes the handoff over to Payne, but now she'll look back to Payne as she was in a bit of trouble. Riley Payne out at the top of the key, throws over to Berg. Berg now over to Vetter on the far side. Vetter cuts in, working against Garcia. Pull up for two off the backboard and in. 43-24 now the score as the Huskies work against this tight Shanley defense. Cornelius one-on-one against Rivard. Cuts inside, whole bunch of moves, and she'll get 2 points out of it.
Right there, you saw that the Deacons kind of switch to a zone press. Expect to see that a lot of them as the Deacons are going to just try and impose their will for the rest of the game.
Huber with it, out top. A little bounce pass goes over to Payne. Payne working against Kaler. Payne, slow with this one. Not finding a lot of room. Here she goes, though, working in the paint for two. Drains it. Excellent job working against some pretty tight defense. Carlson now with the double team on her, able to get this one over to Kaler. Jordan Kaler brings it up the near side. Then she'll hand that one off over to DeVries. DeVries goes out top to Carlson. Now to Kaler on the near side. Kaler again to Carlson. A little over 10 seconds on the shot clock as DeVries has it now on the near side. Back to Kaler out top. Then over to Cornelius for three. She sinks it. A good response here for Wahpeton, trying to claw their way back, down 16. It's a tall order, but it's certainly not impossible. Huber matched up with Carlson again. She cuts back, gives over to Payne. Payne for three, why not? There's 3 points for the Deacons. Riley Payne continues to be that three-point sharpshooter for Shanley, and now the Huskies forced to take a timeout. Cade, what a start here for the Deacons.
Yeah, what else can you say about the start? They're off to an 11-2 start. I mean, this is something that 11-5 start, and the Deacons are just seeming to start to impose their will. Oh, I don't want to say that Wahpeton got lucky and hit a three, but they kind of got bailed out at the end of a possession there. There were only about 3 or 4 seconds left on the shot clock, and they were able to make a deep three that's kind of kept this half seeming a little bit closer than it's really appeared to be. And Shanley started to kind of force some action a little bit using their press. Wahpeton need to force that action and create the fouls like they did in the first half when Shanley decided to be aggressive and they were going to try and press.
Certainly, like you said, it's been a good start here for Shanley. They've really been really taking control here at the beginning of the second half. That said, I'm just, you can't count Wahpeton out, especially not with Coach Watson at the helm in his 8th season. This guy's really seen it all for Wahpeton. He's coached some very strong teams. Bit of a down year for Wahpeton, especially by their standards. Historically, a pretty strong program. But, you got to know the pride these girls have in this team, and with a coach like Brian Watson, you just can't count out a team like this.
Their coach was one of the things that Shanley said was one of the biggest things that could beat them. Wahpeton's coach, that was one of the biggest things that could beat them.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a sentiment felt by many teams in the EDC. When you have to deal with Coach Watson twice a year, a pretty good game planner over there for Wahpeton. Nice defensive play here for the Huskies, now trying to generate some points out of it. Cornelius on the near side, going to throw one in over to DeVries. Now back to Cornelius. Cornelius too long on that shot. Garcia goes up, can't get the bucket, but she does draw the foul.
Foul number 3, Henley Huber, first personal, second team foul. Destiny Garcia shooting 2.
Garcia's first attempt is good.
Only Huber's first, but Manuel will be checking back in. Thing to note, she's got 3 as the Deacons don't really have too bad of foul trouble, but just something to watch.
Yeah, on an individual basis, Cade, you're really right. They didn't accumulate too many. They were pretty spread out, but they did have team foul issues in the first half. They got Wahpeton in the double bonus with about 4 minutes, 30 seconds left in that first half. That can really do some damage. Shanley does not want to get into foul trouble in this half like they did in the first. Another
thing to note, Ribbentrop has checked back in for Wahpeton. I guess she's not going to be playing the point guard, but she is back in for Wahpeton.
Yeah, big senior leader. Good to have her back in. As Kaler can't get that one to fall, and Berg will pull down the rebound. Berg Goes over to Manuel. Manuel now to Hoffer in the corner. Hoffer looking inside. Nowhere to go with it. Gets the screen for 2 now. Taryn Hoffer buries it. Deacons again playing tight defense here. Payne intercepts this one. She'll toss it over to Rivard. Rivard underneath the hoop. Gets the 2 points. It's now 52-30, a 22-point lead for the Deacons.
I mean, Shanley is just kind of playing a little bit of a soft zone, but I mean, you just see those bodies right there where they theoretically shouldn't be. Teams shouldn't be pressing, and you just panic, and you can throw an errant pass, especially if you stare it down. That can lead to an easy steal and a layup.
And, you know, Riley Payne just has had an excellent season getting those steals. She just racks them up. You know, she's got more steals than some girls have points on this team, and that's not a knock on any of those girls. That just tells you how many steals Riley Payne gets, averaging almost 4 a game. Just incredible.
I mean, taking a possession and just, well, stealing a possession, I mean, that's one of the most valuable things you can do. That could be worth, we'll say you score on 75% of your trips. That's 6 points a game. That could be the difference between a win and a loss.
Absolutely, Cade, no doubt. Long pass to Berg. She pulls it down for 2 and the foul. Sierra Berg continues to just be a monster in the paint. Kate, is there a player more reliable than Sierra Berg?
In the East, we're going to say no. There may be one out in the West.
The West, very strong this year, Kate, absolutely. But, you know, Sierra Berg, just a great player, and that's what makes her so good, I think, just how reliable she is and how reliable she has been. You know, it hasn't just been this senior season. As a junior and as a sophomore, you could count on her to make the right decision and to take the right shot, and that's just made her just indispensable for these Deacons over the last few years.
Something to remember about her in the state championship game, I believe, or the semifinals, she fell out with about 5 minutes. She had not come out of the game before that point. I mean, she can play all game, and she will play extremely hard.
Absolutely, Kate. Incredible stat right there. Sierra Berg just instrumental to this whole Deacon team, offensively, defensively. That'll be a big void to fill next year. Obviously, though, a lot of young talent, you know, with girls like Huber and Payne and Manuel. Still, though, some girls you just can't replace, and I think Sierra Berg is one of those.
Substitution for the Huskies, number 10, Jordan Van Epps.
Van Epps now will check in for Wahpeton.
Another one of those young girls that you had talked about, Kelly Chrisman. She's kind of carved herself a little bit of a role this year. Not necessarily playing in all the big minutes, but playing more in the second half, and she's been scoring some points for the Deacons.
Absolutely, Kata. She almost got some there. She was able to draw the foul. You know, Chrisman, I think, is one of those players who is good enough to, you know, log some big minutes. She's just been stuck behind a very strong starting lineup. It's tough to break through as an underclassman. And, you know, when you're playing behind such talented players. But Chrisman definitely a piece moving forward. And already, like you said, this season has carved out a role.
Well, the other thing about this Shanley team, tall. When you see Katie Visser and Sierra both listed at over 6 foot, it's tough to get in there when you play
exactly. Long pass here, going to connect with Pithy, and she'll get the shot to fall along with the foul.
Fouls on number 21, Julia Vetter. That's her second.
Vetter picks up her second there. That's the 4th overall for Shanley. Visser now will come in as Vetter takes a seat. Pithy looking to complete a 3-point play here. Pithy, just a sophomore, has logged a lot of big minutes here. So bringing it forward now is Huber. Huber with Kaler on her, along with Van Epps, stuck in the double team. Excellent work getting it over to Manuel. Manuel now in the corner over to Hoffer. Hoffer pulls up for 2. That one no good. Garcia there to get the rebound. Garcia gives that one off. Able to find Cornelius, who will bring it forward now for the Huskies. Gina Cornelius with it now. In the corner. And now inside to Garcia, who lost her footing. Chrisman and Garcia got tangled up there, and they both ended up going down.
We kind of talked a little bit about the youth of this Wahpeton team. They're a young team. I see on my roster they got 4 seniors. Otherwise, it's all sophomores and freshmen that are logging all the big minutes. So, I mean, maybe they are a year or two away, but this is going to be invaluable experience to them, even if they're not having the best year right now.
Absolutely, Kate. It's like I said, Wahpeton is one of those programs just uncharacteristic not to be one of the top teams in the East, let alone have a losing record, and that's just high school sports for you. I mean, you have down years. Even the best programs just have those years that aren't quite as good as the last few, and that's just the product of occasionally you have a weaker class for whatever reason. And Wahpeton, for whatever reason, just kind of caught in one of those transition years this season. Like you said, though, other than some great seniors for this team, this roster is littered with freshmen and sophomores. So, a year or two, and you can see this team making a pretty big splash.
That's one problem that'll just come with being a smaller school. You kind of got to build yourself up. It's not like, say, a big Davies where you got 10 kids that can play pretty much anywhere every year coming in.
Yeah, it's just, the struggles of maybe being a bit of a smaller school, but certainly, Wahpeton have done well for themselves with maybe not quite the numbers as some of the other programs. Same with Shanley, another smaller program that does well in spite of maybe not quite as many girls to pick from.
But that's a real tribute to Coach Brian Watson and the job that he's done here,
right,
keeping them in it every year no matter what.
As that shot goes off the rim, picked up by Huber, and now given over to Payne on the near side. Payne goes inside to Chrisman. Chrisman wanted Visser. Instead, she'll go over to Payne. Payne for two, too short off the rim. Rebound pulled down by Kaler, able to stay in bounds with Payne right on top of her. Little spinorama. Now she'll bring it across the half-court line. On the near side, it's Pithy with it. Pithy now over to Kaler. Kaler out to the top of the key. Over to Griffin Traub. And now the Huskies cycling this one out along the three-point line. Griffin Traub for three, no good off the rim. There was a whistle before that.
They're gonna call Payne for the foul. That'll be her third, and Griffin Traub will go to the line for three.
As big for Wahpeton, 3 free throws. Griffin Traub is also their best free throw shooter, although first one will not connect.
One thing to file away, Payne now has her third personal.
Absolutely something to watch there. Griffin Traub, second attempt is good.
Checking in for the Huskies, number 2, Lexi Carlson.
Carlson going to come back into the game now, as Griffin Traub will try to make it 2 for 3 on this trip. And she will, hitting that third one.
Wahpeton's going to set up a little press. They weren't quite able to get set there, and it did allow Shanley to inbound the ball rather easily.
Huber now bringing it forward, matched up with Griffin Traub. Huber spins around, gives over to Berg. Berg now going to go inside to Visser. Visser, not a lot of space. That one went off the bottom of the rim. Chrisman fighting for it.
They're going to call an offensive on Chrisman, I believe. Yes, that'll be her first. Second, I mean.
Yeah, there was some pretty physical play underneath the hoop there, and Carlson on the receiving end of it went down there. And that's just basketball, you fight for a rebound, and occasionally things just get a little too physical, and that time you saw Chrisman getting the whistle for it. Carlson in a double team, has to give that one over off to DeVries, now back out top to Griffin Traub, and now back to DeVries. Quick pass inside, found Pithy, now it's Carlson with it. Carlson in and out. Huskies continue to move this ball. Can't really find an opening. Finally, DeVries found one. She pulled up for 2. It didn't go. Rebound fought for, taken away by Pithy. Pithy with a double team on her. Her shot won't go. It's out of bounds. Last touched by the Huskies. And that was close. Or no, last touched by Shanley, excuse me. All right, that does make more sense. I was
thinking it was out. I think one of the refs was overruled there is what happened.
Okay, I was a little confused there. This makes more sense, though, now, as Carlson will inbound to Pithy. Her shot won't go, but she is fouled.
That'll be Payne's fourth, I believe.
Fouls on number 21,
and that is number 8 for the Deacons here in the second half. Boy, Kate, the fouls have been a bit of an issue here for Shanley in this game.
It's actually been an issue for them for most of the year. I mean, Vetter fouled out of a couple games. Payne fouled out of the Red River game. I mean, that's something that you got to clean up. I mean, the Deacons are going a little bit deeper than they have in the past, but they're still only going about 8 or 9 deep.
Yeah, no, I'd agree with you there, Cade. That has been a bit of a season-long issue, and you see Payne picking up her 4th there.
Excuse me, that was Vetter. It was on Vetter. That was her 3rd.
Okay, so Vetter with her 3rd. Although that does tell you the number of girls with 3. That's now 3 or 4 who have 3 fouls. So that's something to watch for Shanley going forward. You know, come tournament time, you can't be. You know, you can get away with some foul trouble in the regular season, but when you're, playing in those elimination games, that becomes a much bigger deal, and that's something they will have to clean up. Vetter's first attempt is good. She's at the line shooting 2.
One person who does a really good job of managing that, Sierra Berg. I mean, you never hear about her in foul trouble.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked a lot about her. I think the biggest thing about Sierra Berg, I said reliable. It's just the fundamentals. I mean, she's so fundamentally strong, and it might sound like a bit of a cliche, but I think she, if anyone really, is that type of player, I think she really is. Some girls, some athletes are just so fundamentally sound, it's like they don't even need to be coached, and I think that's kind of the way Sierra Berg is. She's just been a very refined player from the get-go.
I don't know if the word is she doesn't need to be coached. I think it's that she's told what to do. She comes.
There you go. That's exactly it, Cade. That's a good way to put it.
Payne picked up her 4th on that trip.
And so the fouls persist for Shanley as that ball is given over to Rivard. Rivard tried to work along the baseline. Instead, she'll go out to Vetter. Vetter, no time for the 3, gives off over to Payne. Payne thought about it. Instead, she cuts inside, finds some space, put it a little short, got her own rebound, and fouled on the attempt. 7:49 left to go now as Payne will go to the line.
Gilbertson first personal 16 foul. Riley Payne shooting 2.
Payne's first attempt is good.
For the Huskies, number 33, Gina Cornelius. Number 24, Jordan Kaler.
Some substitutions here for Wahpeton as Payne will attempt her 2nd. And that one is good. So now 65-36 our score in favor of Shanley. Carlson bringing it forward. Gave that one off over to Gilbertson. Now this ball being cycled around. Cornelius has it, moving to the top of the key. High pass, pulled down by Carlson, who goes back to Cornelius. Cornelius all the way over on the opposite side. Still no openings here for Wahpeton as Sierra Berg intercepts that ball.
I mean, what Shanley did, they set up in a zone. You stick out, a lot of tall girls on Shanley. You stick out your long arms, you can't get it in there. So they just kind of try and throw it around on the outside. But we said Wahpeton isn't the best outside shooting team. Well, that'll create some problems with you from three-point land.
Absolutely. I think Shanley's defense has really stiffened up here in the second half. Payne hits that 2, and now Wahpeton forced to take another timeout. That's a full timeout. And so, folks, we will remind you once again that Shanley TV is made possible in part by the Shanley Athletic Club and their generous members. Check out their website today at shanleyathletic.com to learn how your membership contributes to Shanley TV, the Deacon Den, and many other student-athlete needs. While you're there, be sure to renew your annual membership by clicking the Join Now button or become a member if you're not one already. It's easy to become a member, and anyone can join, so sign up today. The Shanley Athletic Club, taking Deacon athletics to a higher level.
If you're Coach Watson in here, you're trying to tell your offense to get the ball into the middle of the zone. That's how you're taught to break a zone, and that's something that Wahpeton has been unable to do right now. If you can do that, you can beat the zone because the defenders in the back of the zone will come up and you can cut behind them. If you're Shanley, you're just saying, keep making them pass the ball around the outside and then have to settle for a three-pointer.
Absolutely, Cade. And so we'll see if that's what happens here coming out of the timeout. 31-point lead for the Deacons. And now Carlson will bring it forward for Wahpeton. She goes over to Kaler. Kaler now over to Cornelius in the corner. Cornelius to Carlson, out top to Gilbertson. Now Kaler has it on the near side, cutting in for 2. Pulls up and gets it.
We should mention mass subs for the Deacons. It does look like the starting 5 will be done for the night.
Hoffer with it now for Shanley. Gilbertson on top of her. She's trying to get that one inside. Finds Chrisman. Chrisman moving in. Gilbertson got in there, though, and contested it.
Wahpeton ball on the alternating possession.
And a good start for Wahpeton here, fresh out of the timeout. Carlson now advancing it for the Huskies. Directing traffic. Goes over to Kaler. Huskies moving the ball on the far side. Pass inside to Garcia. She spins around, nowhere to go. Ball ends up out of bounds. The last touch, though, by Shanley. Carlson to Kaler for three. Too strong. Visser gets the rebound. Visser looking down court, keeps it short over to LaFour. LaFour now will bring it forward in the corner, finds Hoffer. Hoffer out top. Manuel's got it now. Manuel goes inside, then out, gives to Visser. Visser scans inside, nowhere to go. Now to Chrisman at the top of the key. Kelly Chrisman goes over to LaFour. LaFour way out to Manuel on the no-looker. Would have been a nice pass there, just a hair too strong. So, Carlson now with it for Wahpeton. Kaler going all the way across. That ball going to be grabbed by Cornelius. Cornelius along the baseline, stayed in bounds, but the pass was intercepted. Chrisman has it now, and she goes over to Manuel. Manuel bringing it up court for Shanley. Has Carlson right in front of her, gives over to LaFour. LaFour matched up with Kaler, and now Hoffer has it. Near side, Hoffer looking to work along the baseline, throws up a pass, actually. Thought she was going for the shot there. The pass, though, falls for Visser. LaFour tries to steer it over to Chrisman, or excuse me, to Visser. She was able to do so. I think we had a jump ball there, so it'll be Shanley ball. Hair over 5 minutes left to go now. DeVries into the game now for Wahpeton. Manuel inbounding. Manuel over to Chrisman. Chrisman surveys. Inside Hoffer for two. It's short. Chrisman got there. No one puts it back. 69-38 now.
Really nice play by Chrisman there. Just kind of snuck in and got a sneaky board. Back up for two. Easy bucket.
Carlson to Kaler, and then in the corner over to Gilbertson. That ball intercepted, though, by Chrisman, and Manuel will take it out. Manuel up court. Matched up with Carlson. Olivia Manuel gives over to Hoffer. Hoffer gets the screen, a little bit open space. Doesn't take it, though. Gives it to Chrisman. Chrisman nowhere to go. Spins around for two. It's short. And then it'll go out of bounds. Last touched by the Huskies. Manuel to Visser, now back to Manuel on the near side. Moving in and out, she goes now over to Chrisman. Chrisman, tight defense on her, gives it back to Manuel. Hoffer cuts in, pulls up, 2 points, she drains it. Kaler now, bringing it forward. Over to Carlson. Carlson hesitates. Gives off over to Gilbertson, who goes back to Carlson, who goes right back to Gilbertson, and then in the corner to DeVries. Carlson over to Kaler. Kaler matched up with Hoffer to Gilbertson on the far side. Right back to Kaler. Open three. Sinks it. 69-41 now our score.
The scoreboard is incorrect on the screen. It is 71 for the Deacons.
Oh, yeah, excuse me. That's going to be 71-41. I think our scoreboard lagging a bit behind right now. So, driving inside that time was Cornelius. Couldn't get that shot to fall. Hoffer got the rebound, got it out of a double team. Now Manuel will pull up and let Wahpeton pass. Manuel into Visser, trying to go into Chrisman. Chrisman with two girls on her, couldn't get to fall. Wahpeton doing a nice job defending inside right now, guarding the paint. Has left them vulnerable to some longer shots. Saw Hoffer hit the long two earlier. Gilbertson now to Carlson, and now near side over to Cornelius, who will go over to Gilbertson. Out top, finds Kaler. Kaler moving in for two, won't fall, but she was fouled. 2:41 remaining. Again, folks, the score is 71-41. We're trying to fix the scoreboard, and we apologize for that issue. Time is correct, though. It's just the score right now. Again, 71-41 in favor of Shanley.
And another mass substitution there for the Deacons.
Kaler's second shot is good. So now bringing it forward is Mattern. Lydia Mattern. Goes over to Heinrich. Heinrich out top to LaFour. LaFour gets it over to Mattern. Mattern looks inside. Finds Warner. Warner driving for two. Can't get it to fall. It's taken away. Huskies coming back the other way now. Pithy trying to find Cornelius. Broken up nicely by Dabbert. Cornelius got back on top of it, though. Kaler over to Pithy. In the corner, DeVries. Ball continues to be cycled around. Pithy going to give that one over to Meyer. Now for three, Kaler just short off the rim. Under 2 minutes remain now as Mattern will take it forward once again for Shanley. Mattern pulls up, goes over to Heinrich. Heinrich all the way across, back over to Mattern. Mattern now to Warner. Warner couldn't find an opening. She goes back to Mattern out top. Mattern pulls up, too short. Rebound pulled down by Cornelius. Minute 30 now remains. And that shot no good off the rim. Score is 71-42. As Heinrich has the ball now on the near side, goes into Warner. Warner thought about it, nowhere to go. Pass broken up and then taken away by DeVries, who hands off to Pithy. Pithy takes it forward, finds Kaler in stride. Kaler for two, gets it.
I believe they called a traveling there. I'm not quite sure what the whistle was.
Yeah, nor am I, Cade.
Wahpeton might have just called a timeout and said we're going to roll. We just want to sub right now. That could be the other thing.
Yeah, Cade, I think that might actually be it. That seems like the most likely explanation. Either way, a couple substitutions there for Wahpeton as that ball is intercepted and the Huskies look to bring it back now. Heinrich going to take that ball away from Baumgartner, and now Manuel will move it forward for Shanley. Olivia Manuel. Ball inside to Mattern. Mattern out top to Heinrich. Heinrich going to go right back to Mattern, who goes over to Manuel. Manuel for three off the rim, won't go. Huskies get the rebound, 20 seconds left. They can run this one down if they please. Meyer to Van Epps. Van Epps fires the three and gets it. 71-47 now the score. Deacons bringing it forward, just 5 seconds left. They'll be content to just let time run out on this game. And so they'll come away with the win, 71-47. The Deacons top the Huskies. Cade, your thoughts on this one?
Hey, you know what? For Shanley, this was a great game. This was a close one like we had talked about. And we hadn't seen Shanley finish games this year. And this one, they closed the game out when they needed to.
Absolutely, Cade. We've seen them, take some leads in some games, build up some comfortable leads, but never quite, start to run away with it, start to blow it open a bit. Credit to Wahpeton. Obviously, they didn't get the start to the second half that they wanted, but I thought they rebounded pretty well towards the end of the second half. Obviously, had a pretty strong first half. End of the day, though, just ended up being Shanley's night. And they come away with that win, 71-47. Folks, we'll step away, but only for about 20 minutes as we're going to have the boys game coming up for you. That should be a fun one. Wahpeton and Shanley boys battle it out. Again, that'll be coming your way in just 20 minutes, so please stay tuned. Going to be a fun rest of the night of basketball. From the McCormick Gymnasium in Fargo, North Dakota. Good evening, everybody. I'm Jed Thomas as we get ready for the second half of our coverage of tonight's doubleheader between the Shanley Deacons and the Wahpeton Huskies. In our first game of the evening, the Shanley girls defeated the Wahpeton girls by a score of 71-47, and now we get set for the boys game, ready to bring that to you in just a couple of minutes. This should be a fun one, folks. The 9-5 Deacons taking on the 4-10 Wahpeton Huskies. It should be a pretty interesting one. Wahpeton led, of course, by Josh Darwin, top player for the Huskies, leading scorer, all around a huge impact for that team. Josh Darwin, of course, big-time athlete and player. And, folks, as I'm talking, I am now joined by Cooper Mattern, who literally was walking up the stairs as I began. Cooper, thank you for filling in this evening.
No problem, Jed. I'm really excited for this game. I feel like this is going to be a good matchup for Shanley, needing to get back up into the upper half of the EDC conference, and I think they can do this with Wahpeton.
Cooper Mattern, thank you for that. A little bit out of breath as you came rushing up here. Again, big thank you to Cooper for coming and filling in here. And yeah, like Cooper said, we're all very excited for this one. You know, Shanley, of course, 9-5, coming in with a bit better of a mark here. But Wahpeton, a team that's played a lot of close games against a lot of good teams, always just, you know, seeming like they're just a couple points out of it. I think Wahpeton has a very good chance to give Shanley a run here and maybe come away with a bit of an upset win in Shanley's home court.
Yeah, I feel like that too, Jed. I feel like if they can get their key players the ball in these big-time games, there's no way they can make a few good shots, and hopefully it'll be a close game to the end. We can have a good one on our hands.
Absolutely. And, you know, as I was saying right as you came up here, a guy you got to watch for Wahpeton is Josh Darwin, 6'3", leading scorer for the Huskies, a big-time athlete. The guy just makes plays. You know, he can get it from beyond the three-point line. He gets it in the paint. Darwin just is all over the court, and Shanley's going to have to find a way to contain him if they want to win.
Yeah, whenever you got a good basketball player, he's usually a good athlete. I remember watching him in football this season. I feel like if you got a good football player, it's usually an all-around athlete. And with Darwin like this, I feel like he's a good player for them.
Absolutely, you know, that's true with so many people. You know, you look no further than Jake Cava, great football player committed to NDSU, obviously a great basketball player, just a perfect example of that. And another big storyline, you know, for Wahpeton coming into tonight, an unfortunate storyline. A few weeks ago, actually on January 12th, Jacob Peterman is kind of the story coming into tonight. Of course, Jacob Peterman is a 16-year-old sophomore at Wahpeton High School, and on January 12, 2018, Jacob fell to the ground while participating in a warm-up for a basketball game. He was preparing to play. He was taken to the local hospital with a broken femur and was immediately sent to Grand Forks for surgery. When he arrived in Grand Forks, he was told something did not look right and that cancer was suspected. He was immediately airlifted to the Children's Hospital in Minneapolis. After scans were done, they found a tumor in his thigh, and at this time, tests are still being done and treatment plans are in the works. And folks, Jacob Peterman, I'm told, is watching from Minneapolis, and Jacob, I think just the message to Jacob, you know, everybody out here, just so much support for him. We've seen it from Wahpeton, their fans here. We've seen it from Shanley, the whole crowd standing behind Jacob Peterman. Jacob, we just want to give you a big shout out and just want to let you know we're sending thoughts your way. We're sending a lot of prayers your way. There's a lot of people standing behind you. There's a lot of love headed your way, man.
Yeah, that's for sure. Jacob, if you're listening, thoughts and prayers go to you and your family. When I was playing football this fall, I broke my femur, but definitely not to the extent that happened to you. So if you need anything, just let us know, and thoughts and prayers go to you and your family.
Absolutely, absolutely. Jacob, just a great kid, upstanding kid. Just don't hear a bad thing about him. So a lot going your way, man. As we get ready to tip this one off, Shanley and Wahpeton now, folks. And Jacob, I hope you could hear that, man. If that doesn't show you how many people are behind Jacob Peterman, if that doesn't show you the love that community feels for him, Jacob, man, there are so many people behind you. We just want to let you know. I think you saw it right there. What an incredible display of support. Yeah, that really moves you, Cooper.
Yeah, whenever you got good teammates like that, I feel like you got to have a good support group when you sustain an injury like this. Obviously, a long road ahead of you, but when you got a good support group, like especially like a team behind you, there's nothing you can't overcome.
Absolutely. Couldn't have said it better myself. And now, folks, we are ready to play some basketball. We're ready for this opening tip. It'll be McKeever versus Mannock. Let's get this one underway as that ball is up and won back by the Huskies. And so right off the bat, it'll be Wahpeton ball. Vasquez in the zone, going to dish that one off over to Pithy. And now Pithy moving in for two right off the bat. That one won't fall, and the rebound grabbed by Seville. Cam Seville now moving it forward for the Deacons. Inside the paint, looking for two. He drains it. Cam Seville right off the bat with the two, and Cooper. Cam Seville loves to drive into the paint. Really, this season, we've seen that incorporate that into his game.
Yeah, that's sure. I remember growing up watching Cam. He was always one of their star players for JV, varsity, as he's moved up into the program. But I feel like he's always been overshadowed by some of those other key players. Definitely an underrated player in my mind. But if he can keep driving, keep getting good shots, there's no way he can get a lot of points this game.
Absolutely, Cooper, and I think maybe a bit underrated just because he's never been a big-time scorer. He does all the other aspects of the game so well. This year he's finally really broken out as a scorer, and I think that's really helped him. I think a lot more people have noticed him and seen the kind of all-around basketball player he is. Outstanding player for Shanley. Yeah,
and like we said, another football player. I guess if that counts, definitely definitely a lot of all-around athleticism from him.
Absolutely, like you said there, if that counts. Seville, of course, joined his senior year, but made a pretty big impact leading receiver for the Shanley Deacons this season. Shows the all-around athleticism as Cava drives in and gets two. And that basket will count. That'll be a basket and a foul. So 4-0 the score in favor of Shanley. Opportunity for the three-point play now for Cava. And the free throw is good. Jake Cava, one of the best free throw shooters in the state. No surprise there. So Pithy now will bring this one forward for the Huskies. Going to hand off to Darwin now. Darwin goes out top to Vasquez. Vasquez with it, working against Malish. He goes in, then out, then throws it over to Pithy, who goes over to Darwin in the corner. Josh Darwin looking, driving in against McKeever. Great work along the baseline, but I think he stepped out. Yeah, that's the call. Or no, I'm sorry, they'll actually get a foul here against Jake McKeever. My bad, I thought he stepped out, but he was actually fouled there along the baseline. So ball inbounded to Darwin, who gives that one off over to Mannock. That one then given to Pithy. Pithy working against Cava. To Vasquez. Vasquez thought about going to Darwin. He'll take it in himself instead, and he is fouled.
Fouls on number 20, Jake McKeever, second personal, second team foul.
So McKeever already picking up his second there. And Vasquez now at the line shooting two. Vasquez shooting 68% for the year as he hits that first one.
Number 15, Tom Erie.
Tom Erie will come in now for Shanley. Shanley has not really gone with too much of a set starting five. Obviously, they start off with that five, but they sub in really quick. And Tom Erie is one of those guys who plays a lot of minutes off the bench.
Yeah, when you got a deep lineup like this, I feel like foul trouble. Is a lot of that. Shanley always seems to get in a little bit of foul trouble early in the game, especially we saw against Moorhead when they lost that game. I think if they can stay out of that, let their star and key players stay throughout the rest of the game, I think they can have a good chance to win this.
Absolutely, Cooper. When you got depth like Shanley has, it just makes things a lot easier as Timian's three is in and out. But Erie got the rebound. Timian able to get to it off the bounce pass from Erie, then hands it over to Seville, who gets the two. So 7-2, the score in favor of Shanley early on in this one. Vasquez bringing it forward now, goes over to Darwin. Darwin back out to Vasquez, looking inside, makes Timian move. Now he'll throw that one out, able to find Brewer. Darwin slashing in, looking for two. He gets it, and the foul. Josh Darwin. I said it before the game, folks. He is going to be a huge key to Wahpeton's game plan tonight.
Fouls on number 14, Cam Seville, first personal. Third team foul. Josh Darwin shooting one. Checking in. Number 32, Bryce Rayner.
So Darwin at the line, trying to complete the three-point play. Rader checks in for Wahpeton. Darwin's attempt is good. So that's going to make it 7-5. Big-time play there for Wahpeton.
And those big-time plays always come from your big-time players. I feel like Cam Seville, like we said, and then Josh Darwin, obviously maybe the top player for this Wahpeton team. I feel like it'll be a good competition between those, and interesting to see who will come out on top for this game.
For sure. Tough break there for the Deacons as Timian loses that one out off his foot. And they wanted, I think they said Wahpeton tipped that before it went out of bounds, but the referees do not agree. It'll be Wahpeton basketball. To be honest, I did not see it go out off a Wahpeton player, but again, I'm all the way up here at the top of the gym, so I'm not quite sure. So Husky basketball nonetheless, 14:40 left to go in this first half. Near side, Darwin driving in, not a lot of space, throws that one out top, able to find Rader. Rader then goes inside, and the two-point basket will not go for Mannock. Jake Cava bringing it forward now for Shanley. Working against Brewer, throws one all the way over to Seville. Great pass there from Cava, as now Erie will fire a three that he drains.
What I saw in those two possessions was Cody Malish and Tom Erie, two maybe role players, if you will, for the Shanley team. Malish with a good block, and then Erie with the good three on the other end of the court.
Darwin now over to Vasquez in the near corner. Vasquez kicks it out top to Rader. Rader with a nice move to get around to Erie, but he got a little tied up, couldn't quite get the separation he wanted. Misses that attempt. Timian launches one that's going to be tipped out of bounds by Brewer. Excellent work there by Riley Brewer getting the hand up. So Cava will inbound here for the Deacons. Quick little bounce pass inbound to Timian. Timian looking inside, nowhere to go, has to give it to Cava at the top of the key. Cava trying to get the screen, not a lot going there, works his way into a double team. This ball going to be thrown all the way out to Malish, wide open for three, but it's no good. Vasquez pulls down the rebound, throws it over to Darwin. Darwin matched up against Seville. Going to kick that one out over to Brewer. Brewer for a long three, and he sinks it.
Good shot there by Brewer, but obviously that was part of Jake Cava right there. He should get out on, have a more contested shot. I mean, they do have a 2-point lead, but it was 5, and I think part of that was because they're good defense beforehand.
Sweet pass into Brewer there, and they're making it look easy there on that possession. This game now tied up 10-10. Mason Timian advancing this one for Shanley. On the near side, matched up with Vasquez, trying to get separation. Vasquez stays right on top of him. Timian looked inside, and still kick it out over to Erie. Right back to Timian, now to Seville, and then in the corner to Malish. Malish open for three, too long, and Vasquez grabs the rebound. Vasquez working against Cava, gives over to Brewer. Brewer now over to Vasquez, looking inside. Fakes it a couple times, now will take it. Vasquez drove in, and that ball going to be out of bounds. I think off of Shanley, maybe. Some substitutions here, and yeah, they will say it was last touch by the Deacons. Daniel Pithy will be the man to inbound. Pithy looking. Just has to give it off quick to Rader inside. Rader now going to take it out. Huskies cycling. Brewer over to Pithy. Pithy right over to Rader. Not a lot of separation. Huskies got to find something as that three-point attempt will not fall. Dowell threw that one up. It didn't go. Bars now will hand off to Cava, and Cava will take it forward for Shanley.
On the other end of the court there, I don't know if it was a little miscommunication by the Shanley defense, but it looked like Joe Cava, the 6-foot sophomore, was guarding Josh Darwin, the 6'5" junior, so a little bit of a height difference there,
yeah.
But I don't know if that was a miscommunication or maybe that was planned.
Well, Cooper, you want to talk miscommunication? That was a tough break for the Deacons. Seville looking right at Cava, Cava looking straight ahead, and the pass went right behind Joe Cava and out of bounds. That's just a tough break, clearly not on the same page. Rader gets the ball in the corner. His shot for three won't fall, and Seville pulls down the rebound. Cam Seville moving forward with it. Tight D being played. Has to throw it over to Joe Cava, and that was beautiful. I thought he was going outside over to Braden Bars. A little no-looker, dumps it into Joe Cava, and that's an easy 2. That ball knocked back by Erie. Raider must recollect and then bring it in. Darwin hands off to Pithy. Near side, Bars playing some tight D that time, just about took it away from Dowell. Raiders got it once again. Goes over to Brewer and now to Pithy. Shot clock winding down. Pithy has to cut inside, tried to find Brewer. Bars intercepted. Cava up to Seville. Seville with the spin move for 2. He drains it. 14-10 now the score, and a pretty fast-moving game. Not a lot of stoppage. Pithy to Darwin, and then inside to Raider. Out top now to Brewer. Brewer over to Dowell. Over to Pithy, and then to Raider in the corner. Huskies cycling. Brewer for 3 on the move. He gets it. Riley Brewer drains the 3-point shot. Now it's just a 1-point lead for the Deacons. Cava drops one inside to his brother Joe. Jake Cava to Joe Cava for 2 points. That makes it a 3-point lead.
I think when Shanley gets these gets these leads, I think they gotta start low and start playing some good defense. I like Joe Cava and Jake Cava down there, two really strong guys. I feel like if they can play good defense, that everyone else will feed off. Just like right there we saw with Joe Cava. I feel like the rest of the team can feed off their play.
Yeah, absolutely, Cooper. And that time you saw Zane Dowell run right into Joe Cava. Cava just does not move, looking like he's out there playing football once again. Of course, an all-state offensive lineman, Joe Cava, as he kicks that one out over to Jake Cava, whose 3-pointer is no good, and that'll be technically out of bounds as it goes off the wire above the hoop.
Vasquez and Mannock in for the Huskies.
Vasquez and Mannock now back in for the Huskies. And Vasquez will bring it forward. Dowell goes over to Raider out top. Raider looking inside. Gives over to Pithy. Pithy tried to thread the needle there over to Mannock, but Cava broke it up. Jake Cava taking it forward now. Makes a move. Will throw it outside to Bars. Bars for 3 off the rim. Won't fall. Erie gets the rebound and gets 2. 18-13. Deacons trying to get some separation. Vasquez has it now for Wahpeton. Edward Vasquez gives over to Dowell. Dowell then to Pithy, then to Raider. Raider moving in for 2. It's a little too strong. Jake Cava pulls down the rebound. Jake Cava moving inside. That should be a charge, and that will be the call.
Offensive foul on Jake Cava.
Jake Cava picks up the offensive foul, and that is the 4th for the Deacons, and Cava's first. Wahpeton with only 1 foul so far. That's a pretty impressive number. Pithy matched up with Cava, goes over to Vasquez, who then gives over to Dowell. Zane Dowell working against Bars, goes to Raider, now to Mannock, and now near side to Pithy. Pithy faked one way. Now goes over to Vasquez. Huskies continue to cycle outside the 3-point line. Finally, Dowell drives in. Wonderful move, Cooper. Like you said, Zane Dowell just stops and starts and gets the 2. One-hand pass there from Jake Cava into Joe Cava. Cava couldn't get the finish, though.
We know Joe, obviously not a guy who usually gets all the accolades for scoring, but I feel like if he can convert on those, obviously this game will be a lot closer.
Right, as Vasquez sinks the wide open 3 and ties this one up 18-18. Big response there for Wahpeton. They had been on their heels a bit the last couple minutes, and a huge response that time. And Cooper, to finish your thought there, like you said on Joe Cava, I totally agree. I think he's really strong in a lot of aspects of the game. The scoring, maybe the one area he needs to improve. Again, though, got to remember he is just a sophomore, and he only really started playing about halfway through this year. So a bright future ahead for Joe Cava. Looks like when Jake graduates, there'll be another Cava right there to take his place.
Yeah, that's for sure. And I feel like if he can put some more inches on him, he's only 6 feet. If he's going against number 43, Zach Mannock, he's 6'4", so I feel like there's a little bit of a height difference there. But if he can continue to grow, continue to get stronger, I feel like he's going to be a good player for the Shanley organization.
For sure. So a big-time response there by Wahpeton, tying this one up, 18-18. Shanley forced to take the timeout that time, try to slow things down. I think a good use of the timeout there by Coach Burns.
Yeah, that's for sure. I feel like whenever his team gets tired, they usually obviously let up a lot of points. Tie game here. Gotta let your team regroup, let your star players get a breather and go back out there and make some more plays.
And you'll see Talon Hoffer out there now, some fresh legs for the Deacons, as Bars will now take this one out for Shanley. Bars bring it forward, Dowell on him. Bars gets the screen, gives over to Hoffer. Hoffer for 3, off the rim, won't go. Dowell had the rebound for a second, but instead it's Hoffer who ends up with it. Bars in the corner, back out to Hoffer. Hoffer all the way across to Joe Cava. Joe Cava with the little bounce pass inside to Jake Cava. Jake Cava wheeling around over to Hoffer, who lost control, and it went out of bounds. Would have been a beautiful play if Hoffer could have kept it. Dowell inbounds now to Pithy. Pithy has Erie playing just off of him. He'll hand that one off to Darwin, who's back out on the court. Josh Darwin working against Jake Cava, goes over to Pithy. Pithy kicks it outside to Vasquez. Vasquez for 3. He is feeling it, Cooper. Absolutely. 21-18 now the score. Jake Cava has the ball on the near side, trying to get the screen from Joe Cava. Not much going there, but Jake Cava against a triple team just makes it look so easy. 21-20, Wahpeton now with a 1-point lead. Pithy on the far side, out top to Darwin, now over to Dowell. Dowell looking inside to Mannock. Nice pass to Mannock, but a better block there by Joe Cava. Mannock checks in at 6'4", Joe Cava at around 5'10", 5'11", and Cava still able to get the block. Shot from Jake Cava won't fall. Vasquez goes over to Pithy. Pithy had that ball. I'm not sure if it was blocked maybe there by Jake Cava, but it did not fall, and Cava did a great job keeping it alive, as now we got a travel going against Braden Bars.
Might have been a foul actually on Wahpeton, I think.
Yeah, I think you're right, actually, Cooper. That's my bad. So that's the second foul for Wahpeton.
It's like 24, Zane Dowell.
Yeah. So the Huskies still hold a 1-point lead thanks to Edward Vasquez, who, as you said, Cooper, is feeling it from beyond the arc. Seville now with it on the near side, over to Hoffer, to Bars, and then to Timian. Timian gonna move inside, wide open Malish for 3, and he drains it.
I think that's why Malish, he's got that experience. He's playing down low like Joe Cava would be, but he's definitely got that stroke that Joe Cava may not have. Obviously, he's young in his career, but if Joe can develop that and gain that experience like Malish, he'll be a good player.
Right, and you know the thing about Cody Malish, he's such a mismatch as Vasquez gets the 2. You know, Malish is 6'4", a great post player who also can make it rain from 3-point range, so that's really tough to defend against if you're Wahpeton. Malish now with it, goes over to Seville. Seville with the spin move, working against Darwin, and the charge will go against Seville. That's 2 charges now against Shanley. Yeah, Cooper. I tell you what, though, you know, those are always tough, but I see the call there. You know, I do think Seville was, I think that's the right call, the charge.
15 foul, Jake Cava back into the Deacons.
And that is Shanley's 15th foul. We're tied up 23-23 now. Vasquez almost lost that. That was a little too close for comfort, as he's now working against Hoffer. Edward Vasquez gave over to Brewer. Vasquez now with it. Goes to Darwin. Darwin over to Mannock. Back to Vasquez. Hoffer playing tight D. Brewer's got it now with Bars on him. Brewer looking inside. Bars popped it away. Brewer with the spin move, looking for 2. I don't know how he got it, but he did.
Feels like whenever Shanley gets a little momentum, Wahpeton comes right back.
Yeah, excellent work here by the Huskies, responding very nicely. Malish to Timian, then to Bars in the corner. Bars goes inside to Cava. Cava spins around, takes a couple of steps, and gets it in. Cava, you know, coming into this season, it was the three-point shot that was really his bread and butter. He has just not really found that stroke yet this season, but his work in the paint has been just fantastic. You know, he's had trouble from beyond the arc, but he's more than made up for it, I think, with his work inside. Yeah,
like you said, making up for it's a big part of this game. If you're not having if you're having an off day for a three-pointer, or if you're having an off day down low, you should be able to find that mix and match and take the other one on that given day.
Absolutely. Meanwhile, Braden Bars went coast to coast there. Usually not a big offensive player, more of a defensive specialist. Bars made it look all too easy as Brewer goes down. Physical play inside. Timian over to Bars, now to Cava. Cava behind the back. Bars wide open, and he sinks it. Just inside the line, though, so it'll only count for 2, but give him some style points. Holy cow.
Yeah, nice pass there, and then Braden Bars, only a little 5'10" quick guy, but if he's able to make those shots, we should have a good game, and Shanley should keep building on this lead.
So now 29-25. You know, Wahpeton tied things up a little bit ago. Shanley was forced to take the timeout. Now the Deacons out to a 4-point lead, and Wahpeton now has to take the timeout. Cooper, how do you think Wahpeton responds to this little run by the Deacons?
Yeah, whenever you're down, I mean, it's obviously not a big margin, but you do need your key players to step up, like Darwin and Vasquez. He's feeling it right now. Like we've said, if they can keep playing at a high level and keep scoring on these Shanley defenders, I feel like they can mount a good comeback.
Yeah, Vasquez has really been doing it all here for Wahpeton. Interesting, though, Darwin has not quite been the presence we expected. If you look, though, you'll see he's matched up with Jake Cava on just about every possession, and Cava has always been a pretty strong defender his whole career. Cava really just kind of locking Darwin down right now, Cooper.
Yeah, that's for sure, but Cava, he's always, you know, that big guy down low. If he can keep locking Darwin down, I think Darwin's going to have a tough time this game.
All right, so we'll see what adjustments Wahpeton makes coming out of this timeout. Shanley, of course, had the momentum headed into that stoppage. Only a 4-point lead, though, still a very close game. Wahpeton going to try to make it even closer here on this possession. Shanley pressing, Timian right in the face of Vasquez. Vasquez, though, with some moves, able to get separation. He goes over to Darwin. Darwin then inside to Raider. Raider, not a lot of options. Kicks it back out to Vasquez. Vasquez now going to move it in, then throws it to Raider. Raider for 2, just a little short.
What I've noticed from the Shanley defense is, you know, Coach Burns, he's always screaming from the sideline, but especially when they're playing defense on the side of Shanley's bench, I feel like Burns is able to be a lot more vocal, and the players can hear him, and I think it translates out onto the court.
Absolutely. Coach Burns always very animated, very active out there. Yeah, I mean, just always, like you said, kind of got directions for his players. So Darwin picks up his first, and just not the guy you want at the line. Jake Cava is about as close to automatic as you can get. I mean, he has really been fantastic this year. Although that one doesn't fall.
Jinxed him.
Yeah, that'll happen, Cooper. Yeah. For those of you who've tuned in before, you know I am more than guilty of that. Cava's second attempt is good, so a little bit of redemption there. He is shooting 84% for the season at the free throw line. Just a fantastic number. So now the Huskies looking to respond down 5. Darwin over to Raider. Raider ran into a wall there. Bars did a good job locking down. Darwin kicks this one out to Vasquez. Vasquez over to Raider. Raider double team on him. Goes all the way across over to Pithy. Pithy then in the corner to Brewer. Brewer with the double team to Darwin. Now to Pithy, now to Vasquez. Thought about the 3. Moves inside, in trouble. Goes to Darwin. Darwin for 2, and he gets it.
Only 3 seconds left on the shot clock when he shot that. They did a good job locking down Darwin, but you know, good players like him are always able to make plays, even if it's within the last couple seconds.
Absolutely, as Tom Erie responds there with the 2. Quick pass to Pithy, and now right back to Raider. Raider going behind the back. Erie tried to take it away. Gets it over to Pithy, though. Pithy to Darwin to Brewer. Open for 3. Too long. Almost maybe too open that time as he puts a little too much behind it. Jake Cava pulls down the rebound, goes to Bars, then to Erie. Erie fakes the 3, goes inside, gives it to Cava. Cava to Timian, wide open for 3, off the rim, it won't go. Malish with the rebound to Timian, looking for two. That one off the rim, and the Huskies there to get the rebound. Minute 48 left to go in this first half. That ball loose on the ground. Erie got to it. Tom Erie now, bounce pass to Bars. Bars lost it on the ground, and it's picked up by Pithy. Pithy gets it out of trouble, now over to Raider. Raider moving up the far side to Vasquez. Vasquez with the double team, over to Raider. Raider all the way across to the near side to Pithy. Now into Brewer. Brewer finds Darwin, long two, and he sinks it. 3-point game. Mason Timian will bring it forward now for the Deacons. He gives to Malish. Malish over to Bars. Bars stops, goes to Timian. Timian moving inside for two, and he gets it off the backboard.
What I like for Mason Timian there is last possession we saw 2 misses in a row. He's able to come back and make that easy two to bring this to a 5-point game.
And now that ball deflected out of bounds. Joe Cavill coming into the game now for Braden Bars.
Back in for the Huskies, number 24 is St. Dowell.
And Pithy is going to inbound this ball as Dowell checks in now for Wahpeton. Pithy to Vasquez. Vasquez makes Erie move, then kicks it out to Dowell. Dowell takes the three with a hand in his face. Couldn't get it. Darwin, though, had the rebound for a second. Erie ripped it away. Tom Erie moving down court, goes over to Timian. Timian to Cava. Cava moving inside, goes way out, but now we got a whistle and a foul going against Wahpeton.
Good ball movement there. I feel like when you have that good ball movement, defense usually gets tired really quick and starts not moving their feet and then draws fouls like we saw right there.
For sure. Shanley is really, like you said, moving the ball well that time. Cava with the little pass, trying to find his brother Joe. Could not, but it will stay Deacon balls. It goes out of bounds off a Husky. 39 seconds on the game clock, 35 on the shot clock. Cava inbounds to Erie. Erie over to Malish and then to Joe Cava. Jake Cava with it, goes across to Timian, wide open for three, off the rim, it won't fall. Loose ball, Raider picks it up. 26 seconds left, Huskies can get the final shot of the half if they want. Raider to Darwin in the corner, Darwin in trouble, got it to Vasquez, who then goes to Pithy, right back to Vasquez. Vasquez at the top of the key. He'll go in, then go right back to Pithy. Pithy driving over to Dowell. He won't take the three. Time running down. Raider tries to get to Vasquez. Vasquez just launches one at the buzzer. In and out. Tipped up. The horn sounds. And that will do it for the first half. After one, Shanley 34, Wahpeton 29. Cooper, your thoughts on that first half?
Yeah, I really like Shanley's defense. Obviously, we saw at the end of the half, within those last few seconds, they surely locked down Darwin and Vasquez. Obviously, I mean, all five out there, and if they can keep that up, they'll be able to maintain this lead.
How about Wahpeton, though? You know, they come into this game definitely, a little bit of underdogs, 4-10 on the season on the road. They came out swinging, though. They had that three-point game going. I was really impressed by their offense, even in spite, obviously strong D from Shanley, but I thought Wahpeton adjusted well.
Yeah, that's for sure. When you're on the road and you're falling behind in the EDC, you feel like you obviously need these key wins, and if they can get their key players the basketball and make those clutch shots, they can probably mount a comeback.
All right, folks, just 5 points separate these two teams. It is going to be a fun finish. Don't go anywhere. Great finish to this game coming up in just a few minutes. Good evening, folks, and welcome back to North Dakota High School boys basketball action. I'm Jed Thomas, of course, joined by Cooper Mattern as we're getting ready for the second half of play between the Shanley Deacons and the Wahpeton Huskies. But first, folks, we would like to take a minute to remind you that Shanley TV is made possible in part by the Shanley Athletic Club and their generous members. Check out their website today at shanleyathletic.club.com to learn how your membership contributes to Shanley TV, the Deacon Den, and many other student-athlete needs. While you're there, be sure to renew your annual membership by clicking the Join Now button or become a member if you're not one already. It's easy to become a member and anyone can join, so sign up today. The Shanley Athletic Club, taking Deacon athletics to a higher level. So just seconds away from starting off this second half. Pretty close game right now, just a 5-point lead for Shanley. Cooper, your final thoughts here on what these two teams need to do to kind of pull away from each other?
Yeah, like we've seen throughout the state, we know for Wahpeton, Josh Darwin is definitely their key player, and then Jake Cava, definitely Shanley's key player. But what I like was Tom Erie's play for Shanley and Edward Vasquez play for Wahpeton. If those two role players, so-called, can keep it up, this will be a good game till the end.
Absolutely. So, some names to watch. We'll see what they can do in this second half. Josh Darwin has been a little bit quiet right now for Wahpeton. I think that's in large part due to Jake Cava's defense on him. Cava just kind of an immovable force out there. He just plants himself, a big guy, and he's hard to get around, and I think Darwin has felt that.
Cavas.
Yeah, both Cavas, very true. He did get a little bit going, though, towards the end of the first half. We saw him get a couple of long-range twos. That might be what he needs to do to get going working against Cava. As that ball is loose and picked up by the Huskies, so a nice start to the second half for Wahpeton. Cava reached in there on Vasquez. May have just avoided a foul there. Pithy over to Brewer, then Brewer goes in the corner. Able to find Darwin. Back to Brewer. And now Pithy with it once again. He goes out top to Darwin. Darwin drives in, then gives over to Vasquez. Vasquez moving in, launches a two. I don't know how that one went in, but it just made it in there. I think even Vasquez was a little surprised. McKeever over to Timian in the corner, then to Seville. Seville goes back outside, then over to Timian, to McKeever. McKeever looking, no separation. Great work to get over to Cava, who gets it back to McKeever, but it's in and out. The shot does not fall. 34-31 now. Vasquez able to get that one up to Darwin. Darwin moving in, pulls up for two. No good, just off the money. Somehow, though, Dowell comes out with the rebound. What an effort from Zane Dowell.
Like you said, effort. There were two effort plays right there. We had the block on McKeever down on the other side of the court, and then that hard work, that determination on that board for after that shot.
So now Vasquez has it on the near side. Vasquez moving in, goes to Darwin, then out to Dowell. Dowell for three. Finds its way in to tie it up. What a possession there for Zane Dowell. Timian now going to bring it forward for Shanley, trying to calm things down a bit. He goes over to Cava, then over to Seville in the corner. Cam Seville driving in. Brewer gets in there. McKeever takes it at the top of the key, lost it for a second. Timian has it now. He finds Seville almost out of bounds. Seville able to corral it, though, and he went up for two, but got pulled down from behind a little bit, and that will be a foul. So Cam Seville going to be at the line. He has attempted a lot of free throws this season, 122. He's only hit 73 of them, though. That's good for a 59% rate. That's one area of Seville's game that, he's tried to work on the last few years. For whatever reason, the free throws have never been his strong suit. But one thing he's doing really well is getting the trips to the line. Second attempt is no good off the back of the rim, and Vasquez pulls down the rebound. So a 1-point lead now for Shanley. Darwin drives in, tried to get the two. It's no good off the rim. Seville going to come right back down the court with it now. Tight Debian played on him, kicks it out to Malish, then to Timian. Timian thought he had a man in the corner. No one there. Cava will pull up for two. It's in and out, and the rebound pulled down by Dowell. Moving up the near side, Darwin. Darwin settles it down. Goes over to Pithy, then to Dowell. Dowell now to Brewer, who goes out top to Vasquez. Vasquez going to drive inside. Not a lot of options. Has to hand it off to Dowell, who goes back to Vasquez. Vasquez off balance. Three is off the rim. No good. Seville now moving up the far side, cuts in, goes between the legs, then pulls up for 2. It's too strong. Dowell gets the rebound.
What I like from both these teams, definitely the up-tempo pace. When there's a missed shot, each team's chucking it down the court, trying to get that easy layup or that easy close two-pointer, but they just got to start converting and making these shots if they want to take the lead or keep the lead.
For sure, it's a very fast pace of play here in the second half as Jake Cava picks up the foul there, his second. And that's first team foul of the half. So Dowell inbounding, quick give over to Darwin, who goes right back to Dowell. He's going to try the little spin move against Cava. Won't fall, though. Teetered on the edge, but went out. Seville moving in. A little push off there on Darwin. Hands it over to Cava. Cava gets past Brewer. Now to Malish for 3. Off the rim. Loose rebound. Now a whistle and a foul. And it will be against Wahpeton.
Fouls at number 4, Riley Brewer, second personal.
Brewer picks up his second, and that's Wahpeton's second of this half. Timian now will inbound. He was looking at Seville early. Darwin closed that off, though. Now he finds Jake Cava, who pulls up for 2 off the rim, got his own rebound, and puts it back. Good recovery there by Cava. Pithy moving up the far side. He hands that one off to Darwin. Darwin looking now, going to cut in. A great job getting around Timian there. Now Dowell has it. Dowell, oh my goodness! What a second half here for Zane Dowell. The 5'9" guard is looking more like he's 6'3" out there. He is playing with some crazy confidence. And that is infectious. That really gets your team going.
That's for sure. When you got a small guy out there like Dowell, if he's able to play big and play physical, play strong, that really feeds off for the other players and his other teammates.
The 3 from Cava was no good. Vasquez got the rebound, and now Brewer is going to work. Brewer looking for 2. It's in off the backboard. 38-37 in favor of Wahpeton. Timian now goes over to Cava. Cava, spin move. Whoa! There's 2 points. 39-38. Vasquez will bring it forward now for the Huskies. Dowell with it on the far side. Gets it over to Darwin. Darwin cutting in, kicks it out to Brewer. Brewer will bring it in now. Great move, and he converts.
Everyone's answering.
Seriously, highlight play after highlight play. Jake Cavanaugh is going to slow things down. Deacons trailing by 1. He goes over to Seville. Seville, bounce pass. McKeever lost it. Darwin has it now. Darwin pulls up, finds Pithy. Pithy moving in. He's fouled.
Take a deep breath now.
Yeah, holy cow. Everybody catch your breath on these free throws because something tells me we're going to go right back to it after that. And that is Cam Seville's 3rd now, I believe. And that's a number to watch. It would be very unfortunate for Shanley if they lost him. Obviously, such a key player for him. As Pithy hits that free throw, and now both teams make some substitutions. Pithy now looking to go 2 for 2 here. Second attempt is good as well, so now it is 42-39 in favor of Wahpeton.
Number 13, Jordan Mayer.
Timian will bring it forward now for the Deacons. Timian goes over to Erie. Erie looking inside. Instead will go to Malish at the top of the key, who gives over to Timian. Erie with it now on the near side. Tom Erie cutting in. Throws one up for 2, and a foul going against
Traveling.
that is a travel going against Tom Erie. And another turnover here as Dowell inbounds. And now Shanley going with some press. Timian playing tight D now. Pithy has it for Wahpeton. Off the pass from Marr. Dowell with it now. He goes over to Marr. Dowell working against Bars. Gives to Rader. Rader matched up with Malish. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Pithy going inside. Kicks it out top. Marr for 2. Gets it back. Lost it for a second. Shot won't go. Rebound pulled down by Cava. And then the Huskies commit a foul. And that's not a foul you want to take if you're Wahpeton. Already turned the ball over there, just kind of want to get set. Don't be reaching there.
That's for sure, Jed. And I think part of that is Shanley's defense. They really shut down Wahpeton on that possession. If they can keep up that tempo and keep getting in the heads of the Wahpeton players, they'll be able to commit some more stupid fouls.
Timian driving in for 2. It won't fall. Rebound is loose, though. It'll go out of bounds. Last touched by Wahpeton. Rolled off someone's foot over there. Timian now will inbound. 12:05 left in the game. Bars took it out top. He goes over to Joe Cava. Joe Cava for 3. It's in and out. Erie gets the rebound. Erie driving in. And a foul going against Rader, reaching in on him there. Wahpeton got to be a little bit careful here about the fouls. Now that's number 4. Raiders second.
Usually it's the other way around on those shots. We saw Joe Cava shoot that 3 and then Tom Erie get the rebound. Usually it's Joe getting those rebounds and Tom be on the arc.
No kidding. Although there you do see Joe Cava get the rebound like usual as Marr loses possession. Cava got to it. He throws it over to Erie. Erie driving in and he gets the 2. Big time response here for the Deacons. Dowell gives over to Pithy. Pithy now taking it out for Wahpeton. Pithy to Dowell. Dowell at the top of the key over to Rader. Rader moving in, looking for 2. No good off the rim. Loose ball. Malish got it. Marr is there to break it up. And Marr came away with it, but I think he stepped out of bounds. Edward Vasquez is back in. Marr takes a seat. Vasquez, a big presence out there for Wahpeton. Happy to have him back out there. Timian matched up against Vasquez. Got the screen only for a second. He goes over to Malish. Malish now looking for a man. He's got Bars in the corner. Bars up against Dowell. Over to Timian. Straight back to Bars. Now to Erie. Erie with a move. Driving inside. Looking for 2. Flipped it up. Didn't connect. Vasquez pulls down the rebound. Vasquez. Little bounce pass over to Dowell. Stop, thought about the 3, gets it back to Vasquez. What a move, but he loses control. Rader is there to pick it up. Looking for 2, in and out, still going, and finally it falls. Would have been a heck of a play if he could have gotten it to convert. Erie, over to Timian. Timian looks inside. Vasquez stands in his way. Instead, Malish will take it for 3. Rebound pulled down by Dowell after the shot does not connect. Rader on the far side, driving along the baseline, finds a man for 2. It's Mannock. 44-43 in favor of Wahpeton now.
On the previous possessions, we've seen Shanley really shut down Wahpeton on defense. And usually, I mean, just like in every other sport, defense leads the offense. Not really the case on those past 2-3 possessions. If they're working that hard on defense and they're not getting anything on offense, I think that's going to be a key contributor to this game.
Not a lot of options there for Timian, so he launched up a contested 3. It didn't connect, and then to make matters worse, Shanley commits the foul on the rebound. Jake Cava, and Talon Hoffer now come into the game. Good for Shanley to have Jake Cava back out there, as now Darwin will bring this one forward and hands off to Vasquez. Vasquez matched up with Hoffer. Looking, goes over to Rader. Rader looks inside, not a lot there. Gonna go with the bounce pass over to Darwin. Darwin loses control. Bars got to it, but it was out of bounds off Braden Bars. Zach Dowell will inbound. Looking deep, not a lot of options. That one is gonna be picked up by Hoffer. He was trying to find Mannock, but it was broken up by Joe Cava. Jake Cava taking it up the far side. Goes to Erie. Erie with Rader on him, looking for 2. And he draws the foul.
It's
number 43, Zach Mannock.
43.
Yeah, that's Mannock picking up his first, and that was a tough one. End of the day, though, Wahpeton just getting a little too much of the body that time. Can't be doing that as Erie hits his first. Erie is 2 for 13 so far on the season at the free throw line. Not a great mark. But look at that, he's 2 for 2 on that trip. So now Dowell gives over to Vasquez. Wahpeton trails by 1. Vasquez crosses half court. Hoffer in his face, gets it over to Darwin. Darwin going inside the Raider, a whistle, and a foul going against the Deacons.
Fouls number 15, Tom Erie, first personal.
So Tom Erie picks up his first, and that's Shanley's 4th of the half.
Yeah, we do see 4 fouls here for Shanley and then 5 for Wahpeton. It is 7 when you get into the bonus, and if that becomes a factor, there's obviously going to be a lot of free throws being taken, maybe some clutch free throws towards the end.
Excellent putback there for Dowell. Huskies caught Shanley off guard with the inbound. Cava had his back to Dowell when he was inbounding, didn't know it came in. Dowell was able to get to the rebound, and that's a nice little play there for the Huskies as Joe Cava is fouled, and he'll get the shot.
Fouls on number 43, Zach Mann on his second.
Good ball movement there for Shanley. Some nice quick passing, and forces Wahpeton to take a foul. Cava hits the free throw, so now it's a 2-point lead for the Deacons. And Vasquez once again will bring it forward.
Like you said, Joe, we saw that quick ball movement from Shanley. We also saw that a lot in the first half. If they can keep that up, there's no way that they can keep driving, get some key free throws, and turn this game around.
So Bars stepped out of bounds there, trying to keep it in. Dowell with the quick inbound over to Darwin.
Oh,
Darwin faked everyone out and then throws it down. Josh Darwin, oh man!
He just dunked.
Holy cow! Josh Darwin making everybody look silly out there.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
That might be my favorite play of the night, Cooper. Good Lord, as that ball is now ripped away.
Momentum switches just like
Wahpeton
that.
is feeling it.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, they are the road team. It's a pretty long drive, Wahpeton to Fargo, and they are making this gym electric right now.
I even saw their coaches jumping up and down on the sideline right there.
Look at that slam from Josh Darwin. What did I say before the game? He was going to be a big player. He was contained early, but he was not contained on that play, that's for sure. So Brewer has it out top. Vasquez on the near side possesses and goes to Darwin. Darwin throws one to Brewer in the corner for 3. No good off the rim. Hoffer gets the rebound. Little over 8 minutes left to be played. Cava driving in, sent a man down, no whistle, lost the rebound, but Hoffer was there to get it. Bars, no looker inside to Joe Cava, working against Raider. He couldn't get it to go. Seville gets 2 and the foul. A response for the Deacons. Seville just doing what he does best, working in the paint. And you saw Dowell just whack at him there. Can't be doing that. So Seville to complete the 3-point play. It's too strong. Raider gets the rebound. 50-48 in favor of Shanley. Vasquez bringing it forward. He goes over to Brewer. Brewer looking, has some space, won't take the 3, cuts inside. It was blocked, and now Hoffer driving down. Vasquez going to go up and try to block him. And they'll get, they will get Vasquez on the foul.
After all this action, we still only got a 2-point game. See if Talon Hoffer can make it a 4-point game with these 2 free throws.
For sure. That was, and Cooper, that was close. You know, I thought it was going to be a charge initially, but they do end up getting Vasquez that time. I think it was the right call, so that was a good catch, but boy, it was close. And now we'll take a brief break to mop up some sweat underneath the hoop. Everyone's working hard. Got a little sweat left down there. Get a look at the replay here. And you know what? He did not get planted. That was a great call. That was a real good catch. And so now Talon Hoffer at the line, like you said, with an opportunity to expand the lead. First attempt is good.
Checking in. Number 23, Dan Pickey.
Deacons now in the bonus. Wahpeton with 8 fouls up on the board. Hoffer's second attempt also good. So big time free throws there, makes it a 4-point lead. And now Wahpeton will look to answer as Pithy hands that one off over to Brewer. Brewer kicks it out to Rader out top, and he goes to Darwin. Darwin in the corner to Brewer. He'll drive inside looking for two. Brewer trying to respond, couldn't get to fall. Joe Cava gets the rebound. Hoffer up to Jake Cava. Cava bearing down, throws it over to Seville. To Hoffer, open for three, off the rim, no good. Joe Cava gets the rebound though. Bars no looker. Jake Cava for three, and he drains it. 7-point lead now for Shanley. Out of nowhere, the Deacons take a big lead. Wahpeton's got to answer. If they can't get it here, you have to wonder if they'll take a timeout soon.
Yeah, when you do see those big plays from those big time players like Jake Cava, I think it always starts with the lower stuff that we don't really take advantage of and really see throughout these games. I saw Joe Cava, his younger brother, getting one defensive rebound and then one offensive rebound, allowing Jake Cava for that three-pointer.
Cava to Cava for two. Wahpeton on their heels, and as we thought, a timeout going to be called by the Huskies.
Crazy, about 2-3 minutes ago with Darwin's dunk, we thought Wahpeton had all the momentum.
Yeah, for sure. And that was just a good play. Jake Cava to Joe Cava. And Cooper, you know, like you said a few minutes ago, we thought all the momentum was in Wahpeton's favor, but suddenly Shanley out to a 9-point lead. How does Wahpeton respond here?
I think the big thing is defense. We saw Shanley's defense really lock them down, not allow a lot of points in the second half. If Wahpeton's able to feed off Shanley's defense and make own defense of themselves, it'll lead to some offense and mount a comeback.
And folks, you might have heard the announcement there. $1,602, I believe, is the total raised for Jacob Peterman and his family. Just a great display of sportsmanship there. Wahpeton and Shanley fans combining to help out a family in a time of need. Just great to see. Just great to see the whole basketball community really rallying around the Peterman family. So out of the timeout, Wahpeton will look to respond. Deacons stole the momentum away. Wahpeton going to look to take it right back here. It's been a back-and-forth game. I have no doubt in my mind the Huskies can do it. We'll see what happens. 6:27 left to go. Dowell inbounds to Pithy, and here we go. Pithy with bars on him, bringing it forward. Doesn't hand off to Vasquez, keeps it himself. Now we'll go over to Vasquez. Edward Vasquez goes back to Pithy. He got the screen, moving it inside. Not a lot of options. Goes right back to Vasquez. Vasquez to Brewer. In the corner to Pithy for three. It's short, and Hoffer gets the rebound. Hoffer bringing it down court. Over to Seville. In the corner to Bars for three. He drains it. Not what the Huskies needed out of the timeout. Really got to answer here, down 12.
That's true, and I think Braden Bars definitely do. Obviously, we've seen him throughout this game with the defensive mindset, not always getting those accolades like we've said before for the offensive scoring, but for him to hit that three, that's pretty big.
I believe it. Well, actually, no, that's his first three. I think he had the very long two where he just stepped in the line early on. Darwin with the double team on him, able to kick it out to Vasquez for three. It won't fall, and Seville gets the rebound. Seville with it now for the Deacons. Out to Hoffer. Hoffer for three, and Shanley is just feeling it right now. And another timeout taken by Wahpeton. The Deacons, who, to be honest, have not been able to hit a three-pointer to save their lives this season, all of a sudden are just making it rain.
That's for sure, and when you're able to make those big threes, it definitely feeds on the other side of the court on the defensive side, like we've pointed out throughout this game, and defense leads the offense, like we've said.
Now, this is going to be a tough one for Wahpeton to come back from here, down 15 with just 5 minutes to go. But I tell you what, Cooper, I believe they can do it. I think anyone who's watched this game knows they can. They just got to get it going on offense. The Deacon defense has really locked down, and I think that's deflated Shanley, or it's deflated Wahpeton defensively. There's been a lot of open threes. And early on in the game, Shanley wasn't hitting the open threes. Now they're finally starting to convert. Wahpeton's got to tighten up there. Yeah,
and I think like we said for Wahpeton, I think they have had a lot of open shots. They just haven't converted. And if they can convert on those threes, those low twos down low, then they'll be able to cause a comeback.
So, Dowell with the inbound to Pithy. Pithy now brings it up. Gives that one off over to Brewer. Brewer to Dowell. Dowell inside to Darwin. Darwin driving for two. He gets it, and the foul. That's a start. 63-50, 4:58 on the clock. Darwin now with an opportunity to make it a 12-point deficit. Darwin shooting 60% from the line this season. And that one does not fall. It was loose for a second, but Jake Cava got to it. Cava pulls up over to Bars. Bars bounce pass to Seville. Seville lost control though, and Vasquez has it. Vasquez bringing it down court, looking for two. He gets it. They are fired up on the Wahpeton sideline. Perhaps no one more than Coach Ralph. Jake Cava trying to settle this one down. He'll hand off to Joe Cava. He faked the pass inside, still looking. Goes to his brother Jake inside to Seville. Cam Seville for two. It's short. He gets back to it though, and he's fouled underneath.
Good strong take there by Cam Seville.
So Seville will head to the line.
Calls on number 25, Edward Vasquez, second personal.
And Vasquez picks up his second there.
Foul, Cam Seville shooting 2.
Just 2 for Vasquez, but 9 total for the Huskies in this second half. As Seville misses his first, he is shooting 2 though. Seville's second attempt, no good as well. Loose ball, Dowell pulls down the rebound. And here come the Huskies. Vasquez with it, gives to Pithy, had the 3 for a second, pulls up though, somehow with it. I don't know if anyone knew he had it there for a second. Vasquez now gives over to Dowell. Dowell back to Vasquez. Huskies trying to poke a hole in this Shanley defense. Now a whistle and a foul going against the Deacons. I think they'll get Joe Cava, who's trying to plead his case.
Call either. Three personal now for him?
I believe so. And Joe Cava has had his foul troubles this season. He often is at 4 or sometimes 5, which obviously means you foul out. So he's often fouling out or close to it, but I think that's, again, the product of being a pretty young player. Pithy inbounding, gets it to Vasquez. Vasquez out top to Darwin, then to Dowell, and the Huskies are cycling. Brewer back to Vasquez. He's going to take it inside, kicks it out to Brewer. Brewer now to Darwin. Wahpeton still cannot find a hole. Pithy just fires the 3. It's in and out. Loose ball. Darwin fighting for it, but Hoffer came away with it. Townhofer over to Bars. Seville wide open, but it's taken away by Pithy. Excellent work off the bounce pass, able to intercept. Darwin bringing it down, trying to kick it out. No one there. Bars gets it. Bars driving down court for 2. No good. Rebound pulled down by Pithy. Vasquez bringing it back the other way. Over to Darwin. Darwin looking for 2. No good. Cava there for the rebound. Both teams just trading misses. And now Cava will just bring it forward, try to burn some clock, and Coach Burns will take a timeout.
I think the big thing that Wahpeton needs to focus on is definitely slowing the pace down. We did see an up-tempo first half, but if they can slow the pace down and get some quality shots instead of just trying to jam it up and shoot up those deep threes, I think that they can get good quality shots that they'll be able to mount an easier comeback.
Problem here, Cooper, is you don't quite have that luxury with just 3:09 left. It's what you want to do, but not a lot of time left to work with. So if you're going to slow it down, you better be converting on those possessions. Other thing is, it seems like when they do establish themselves in the zone, there's not a lot to work with there. Shanley's been pretty tight defensively. Raider will be checking in now with just 3:09 left on the clock coming out of this timeout. $11-point deficit here for Wahpeton. 3 minutes, a lot of time, certainly manageable, but they are going to have to really start converting here. So, Deacons took the timeout, be their basketball. Cam Seville will inbound. Seville into Timian, who goes right back to Seville. No doubt Shanley is just going to try and burn some clock here. That'll kind of be the objective, I think, on most possessions. Obviously, he's still going to want points, though, as Malish gets the bounce pass over to Seville. Timian takes the open three. It's short, bounces off the shoulder of a Wahpeton player. It's loose, and the Deacons get back to it. Malish over to Timian. Timian looking inside, goes over to Seville. Shanley just burning more clock here. Timian trying to get inside, kicks it out to Cava. And Cava will just settle it down, continue to eat up clock. Cava working against Raider, driving inside, looking for two. He lost it. A jump ball will be the call. And so I think it'll stay with the Deacons. Maybe a bit of a quick jump ball there. It came out. 8 seconds on the shot clock here. Cava with the quick inbound to Timian. Timian got to take a shot here. Throws it up, and it does make it in.
Like you said, Jed, the Shanley's really eating out the clock. If they're able to get those shots within that 10-second or lower mark on the shot clock, they'll be able to keep this lead and then keep the momentum on their side.
Vasquez over to Pithy. Now back to Vasquez at the top of the key. Got it over to Darwin. Darwin sends Seville down. Seville pleading his case. I think he might have sold it a bit there. Yeah. He knows. As now Jake Cava will bring it forward, working against Raider. He loses control, able to get back to it though. Loses it again, and he stepped out.
Got to be smart.
And Cava really pleads his case that time. Got to be a little careful. 65-54, minute 43 left to go. Pithy, quick inbound over to Vasquez. Vasquez bringing it down court, now to Darwin. Darwin surveys over to Raider, now to Vasquez. Vasquez, not a lot of space to work with here. And time winding down, Darwin kicks it out to Pithy for three. He sinks it! Wahpeton pleading for a foul. They won't get it, but no doubt they're happy with the three. Shanley, though, can run this clock pretty far down, easily inside a minute.
And Wahp does need to go for a steal like we see Darwin doing there.
And Darwin has the foul called, and he knows, I mean, you either got to get the steal or the foul, just got to stop the clock. And that is Darwin's third, though, not a great number. Seville at the line, he missed his last two. Missed his two tries on his last attempt, I should say. We'll see if he can do a bit better on this trip. Again, shooting 59% for the season. First one is too strong. Seville's second attempt is good, so now it's 66-57. Vasquez with it for Wahpeton. He goes over to Pithy. Pithy looked inside, no options. Goes to Darwin now. Darwin to Dowell. Dowell inside, finds Pithy for two, won't go, and no foul. So Seville over to Timian, and now Wahpeton got a foul here, really. Not many other options, and not the guy you want to foul at all. Jake Cava headed to the line, shooting 84% on the season.
First personal foul. Jake Cava shooting 2.
Cava's first attempt is good. And attempt number 2 is good as well. So, Wahpeton gonna have to answer fast. Pithy moving down the near side. Over to Dowell. Dowell back to Pithy. It was tipped. He works along the baseline, up for 2. He gets it. And now a timeout taken by the Huskies. So, 9-point lead here for Shanley.
Full timeout taken by the Huskies.
And they can technically run the clock out. Obviously, they won't do that. Wahpeton should foul them as soon as possible. Cooper, this is going to be tough. I mean, down 9, and in theory, Shanley could run it out in one possession, so it's going to have to be very quick, very well executed here for Wahpeton.
Yeah, that's for sure, but we do see with Shanley, they have half of their players decent free throw percentage, other half not too good. So I guess it does depend on who they put at the line to convert those free throws, but 9-point lead in 30 seconds, that will be hard to overcome.
Definitely. Like you said, though, there are some guys they can try to catch with the ball in their hands. Mason Timian, Braden Bars, a couple of guys, who are hovering around that 50% mark. Even Cam Seville's only at 59. Really, I think the big thing is you want to avoid fouling Jake Cava. I mean, because he's just so automatic, and he's pretty clutch, too. I mean, he rarely misses when it counts. So, I mean, basically, you just want to get to that ball before it gets in Jake Cava's hands. Also, Jake McKeever connecting at a 71% clip. Another guy you do not want to foul in this situation, although he's not out on the court right now, so it shouldn't be a problem.
They're going to try to get the ball to Cava right here. Yep.
Quick inbound to Cava, and they're going to have to foul Jake Cava, who will gladly go to the line. Cava's first attempt, in and out.
Last foul is on number 23, Dan 50, second personal. Joe Cava, Cody Malish checking in. Jake Cava at the free throw line.
Joe Cava and Cody Malish come in now. Cava's second attempt.
Oh, wow.
No good as well. So, an opportunity here for Wahpeton. Got to go fast. Pithy driving forward. Cava tries to draw the charge. It won't go. Darwin for three, in and out. It would have been huge. But instead, Wahpeton's going to have to foul again, and that might do it. Jake Cava tried to sell the charge that time. Didn't end up mattering, though.
Dan Pithy. Cam Seville going to the free throw line.
Seville's first attempt is good. And the second good as well. So, big free throws there for Cam Seville. Not a lot of time left. Vasquez going to drive in, maybe try to get two, draw foul. Won't get either, so they'll try and foul Malish, but won't really matter. And Cava will hang on to this one as time expires. So the horn sounds and the final score reads 70 for Shanley, 59 for Wahpeton. And Cooper, a really hard-fought game by both teams. There were stretches there where it looked like Wahpeton, might build up a lead. It certainly looked close. I really think it was that little stretch kind of in the middle of the second half where Shanley started to hit those threes out of nowhere that kind of did Wahpeton in.
That's for sure. I did like Wahpeton's defense in the first half, though. But when it came to that second half, I think Cava's versatility and the rest of Shanley's versatility and their three-point ability definitely got the best of Wahpeton today.
Still, though, a great effort from Wahpeton coming up here, underdog on the road. A lot to play for still, a lot of heart shown. I mean, end of the day, I really like what you saw out of Wahpeton, I think.
That's true, especially with what happened earlier this week. For them to be able to come on the road, battle like they did, a lot of credit to them to be able to play such a good game.
No doubt about it. At the end of the day, great win for Shanley, but I think an even bigger win for Jacob Peterman and his family. A lot of money raised here tonight, a lot of support shown. And one more time again, Jacob, if you're still watching, just want to wish you the best of luck, man. We just hope things go well again. Thoughts and prayers with you and your family.
That's for sure. The basketball community is behind you. Like I said before, if you need anything, just let us know, and we'll be here for you and your family. Absolutely, no doubt about it. For tonight, though, it is Shanley coming out on top, 70-59, folks. For tonight, for Cooper Mattern, and for our entire crew, I'm Jed Thomas. Your final score from Fargo: Shanley Deacons 70, Wahpeton Huskies 59. To watch the archive version of this entire game and our other broadcasts, go to ShanleyTV.com. The proceeding has been a presentation of Shanley TV.